FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It is 5:10. I'm Manda Factor. Foss High School in Tacoma is closed today after multiple stabbings at that school yesterday. Parents of students rushed to the school when they heard the news, and so did KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
Witnesses tell KIRO News Radio the stabbings were the result of an argument over a vape battery, although police have not yet confirmed. 5 students, including the suspect, were injured along with a security guard. The extent of the injuries is unknown, but they are not life-threatening. Mom, Diana Corbin, is relieved.
It's very stressful, and you feel kind of helpless.
Police say the suspect was taken into custody. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
All after-school activities are also canceled today. School will reopen Monday with counselors and additional administrative staff on site. Police in Marysville have opened a homicide investigation now after the body of a young woman was found in a waste bin. KIRO 7's El Thomas says the gruesome discovery happened Wednesday near a Grove Street apartment complex.
We heard from the man who found that body. Bob Stocks tells us he got the shock of his life when he says he noticed a green yard waste bin on the sidewalk that didn't belong to his apartment complex.
That bin was pretty heavy, and so I opened it up to see what was in it, and lo and behold, there was a body. Stepped back, took a few deep breaths, tried to collect myself as much as I could, and called 911.
Detectives arrived on scene, spent several hours gathering evidence.
Marysville police want anyone with information to call 911. A University of Washington student was arrested Wednesday for banging a drum at a conservative event on campus. The Seattle Times reports the student kept disrupting a Turning Point USA event with loud drumming. After multiple warnings, the student was arrested for disorderly conduct. Turning Point was hosting an event called Prove Me Wrong on the Hub lawn featuring conservative influencer Nick Freitas. Other protesters were chanting nearby as well. A student group called Institutional Climate Action says the arrested student is one of their members and accuses the university of escalating efforts to silence protesters. Washington's measles outbreak is growing.
The State Department of Health has 3 more confirmed cases, 2 in Kittitas County, 1 in Spokane County, and there's no known exposure source. Officials say that could mean measles is spreading undetected. The state has logged 40 cases so far this year. Last year, there were only 12. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump says let Iran play in the World Cup. He told reporters in the Oval Office yesterday he's on the same page as FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
I said, you do whatever you want. You can have them. You don't have to have them. Probably have a good team. I don't know. Do they have a good team? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Would be hard to believe, actually.
Infantino reiterated that Iran will compete, including in a match versus Egypt here in Seattle, despite the country's human rights record and the ongoing war. Speaking in Vancouver, BC, the FIFA president says the World Cup should unite nations through soccer. And a waterfront mansion in Hunts Point just sold for $38 million. One of the priciest home sales ever in the Puget Sound area. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the estate belongs to Bruce and Jolene McCaw, and it sold for well below the asking price. It was originally listed in 2022 for $85 million. The property sits on more than 4 acres, 327 feet of Lake Washington waterfront. It includes a dock built for a 150-foot yacht, even a seaplane. And before the McCaws owned it, saxophonist Kenny G lived there. It's 5:13. Time to check your Friday morning drive. Chris Sullivan is here. Good morning.
I mean, I've got space for my yacht, but not a seaplane.
Not a seaplane?
Yeah, I guess I'm just not quite up to the level.
That's a big house.
Yeah, and not just a yacht. What was it, 150 feet?
150-foot yacht.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of yacht. Okay, on the roads right now, we're in a much better place today than we were yesterday at this point, and certainly on I-5. Hoping we're going to have a really quiet day today. We're looking at about a 30-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma. Tacoma itself is quiet, and then only 35 minutes or less from Federal Way on up into Seattle. Puyallup to Renton, only 35 minutes. Renton to Bellevue is not bad. Across the lake, we've got no problems. Coming down from the north end, only 35 minutes, maybe less, as we make our way coming down from the north end. Just a reminder that we do have westbound Highway 18 closed today from I-90 to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. We've got another 4 days of good weather. And so now they're back to doing that paving work. It's going to be this way until about 4 a.m. on Monday morning. So westbound closure. So for those of you getting out of town, not a problem, but maybe coming back on Sunday, that's going to be an issue. This traffic report brought to you by me, KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Let's talk some more about that nice weather. 71 for today. We'll see a mix of clouds and sun. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 73. They've upped the temps. So for Sunday and Monday, now looking for highs of 81 both days. We'll cool off to the low 70s, but still sunny on Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, we have clear skies. It's 55 degrees to start the day. Coming up, in case you missed it, Chris Sullivan has a choke point looking at the next big bridge project in the Everett area. That's next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing, and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the big unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber, connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Call or click 811 before you dig. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811. Call or click 811 and visit safeexcavator.com.
I'm their conduit, and I'm glad to do it.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, it's 6:15, and Sully is here with a new choke point. The Edgewater Bridge connecting Everett and Mukilteo opened to cars this week. But even as the finishing touches on that project are completed, Engineers are looking ahead to the next project.
All right, Sully, where are we going next?
Well, the Edgewater Bridge is just the second of a 3-bridge replacement plan for Mukilteo Boulevard, connecting Everett and Mukilteo. The city of Everett replaced the Maple Heights Bridge near Harborview Park in 2020. Old, vulnerable to earthquakes, spanned a deep ravine. Edgewater Bridge, same shape. Now it's replaced. Up next, the Merrill and Ring Bridge, just about a mile to the east. It's 95 years old, and if you're watching on our YouTube live video, I went up there yesterday, walked across the bridge, took a look at the aging structure there. It's over a 100-foot ravine. It's only 376 feet long, but it is vital to connecting Everett and Mukilteo. Here's Everett City Engineer Tom Hood.
Edgewater is the second project, and so Merrill and Ring will be the third and final bridge along the Mukilteo corridor, and then we'll have kind of our forever infrastructure in place for the next 100 years.
This bridge project still in its very beginning stages. It's still in design.
We're only partially funded for construction right now. So we continue through the design process, which will probably take us into 2028, I would imagine.
But that schedule could slip depending on a few key factors.
We have some property acquisitions that we need, which tend to take a long time to negotiate. Assuming the funding comes through, we could begin construction maybe in 2029.
Or potentially 2030. If you look at the videos, I continue to walk west across the bridge, hoping very carefully not to drop my phone as I dangled it over the edge to look down the ravine. Again, this is one of these old bridges. This one was built 1931, redone in the 80s to add another lane into it, but definitely needs the work. I talked with Everett Principal Transportation Engineer Dan Enrico about this, and he says the city has learned a lot over the first 2 bridge projects, which should help them in this final replacement and make it go smoothly.
We have literally dozens of lessons learned on Edgewater that will help us on Merrill and Ring, from closures to geotechnical exploration to phasing of the project and communications.
Hopefully workers won't find a buried structure under this bridge. Let's not forget an unexpected structure in the dirt. Help delay the Edgewater Bridge project. Speaking of Edgewater, contractors still need to complete the new sidewalks there. They won't be done for a few more weeks, and Hood is asking neighborhood walkers to stay off that bridge until the work is finished.
We certainly don't want pedestrians on the bridge. It will not be a safe condition. Yes, this is still an active work zone, and it's not yet ready for pedestrians.
Bike lanes aren't quite finished there either, but riders can share the road with cars safely. And as we wrap up here on the Merrill and Ring, you can see, again, relatively well used, even in the middle of the day, over a long ravine. Doesn't have much sidewalk access. And as we look over the south side, goes down a little bit there too.
A little bit.
Didn't lose my phone on that either. But yeah, again, a seismically vulnerable bridge, the third of 3 that they are replacing. And again, that's going to come up here in the next couple of years. So people will get used to having a nice clean drive between Everett and Everett and Mukilteo, just to have it taken away again as they take care of this bridge.
Got to take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, 1931, one of the older of the 3 that they're taking care of, so it needs to be done.
Okay, we'll check that out on mynorthwest.com.
All really good information, but my first thought watching your video is, my gosh, we live in a beautiful place.
Yeah, you like that, Joe? What a beautiful day. Got a nice little shot of the bay out of Mukilteo to Everett. Yeah, it was
gorgeous.
I'm not going to lie and say I didn't edit that video at the park there overlooking everything, but I did. It was beautiful.
Yeah. You can find all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com. While we're talking about driving, the war with Iran and the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz by both the U.S. and Iran continues to increase the price of gas. The national average for a gallon of gas, according to AAA this morning, is $4.39 a gallon. President Trump insists as soon as the war is over, gas prices will, quoting now, drop like a rock. CBS's Nancy Cordes tells us for now, there's no way for the public to know how soon the war with Iran might end.
When he was asked yesterday about the talks with Iran that seemed to be stalled, the president said only he and a couple of other people actually know the status. He insisted weeks ago that the two sides were actually very close to a deal, a claim that the other negotiators have not made.
In case you're curious, Washington state average hit a new high overnight. According to AAA, it is now 661. Check on the weather as you get ready for the weekend. There's the good news. It's going to be beautiful. Mix of clouds and sun for today, 71 the high. For Saturday, mostly sunny, 73. Sunday, sunshine at 81. Mostly sunny, 81 on Monday as well. Then we'll cool off on Tuesday. All Right now in Seattle, clear skies, 55 degrees. And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has your weekend planner here on Seattle's Morning News.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this out.
Get ready to celebrate the big unit all weekend. We've got 2 incredible events lined up, both presented by T-Mobile. Tonight is Brandy Johnson 80s Jersey Night, and tomorrow is the big unit's number retirement ceremony night, featuring a historic pregame celebration starting at 6 p.m. Get your tickets now at mariners.com/big unit.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house. It took me a bit to understand what was going on, but eventually I learned I had anxiety. Now I'm getting help for it and feeling so much better. Sure, some days are better than others, but the whole thing about getting out of the house, that's not really an issue anymore.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Hey, it's Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision. If you're at the stage where you need readers, whether you've had LASIK or not, it may be time to consider K2 Vision RLE. I tell my King LASIK patients, laser vision correction won't solve the eventual need for reading glasses due to an aging, dysfunctional lens.
But K2 Vision RLE will. It's not a question of if your lens becomes dysfunctional, it's when. At that point, you'll need reading glasses and could benefit from refractive lens exchange. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. In other words, no glasses, no contacts, and no readers.
And no cataracts.
Exactly. After K2 Vision RLE, you will never develop a cataract.
K2 Vision doctors have performed over 150,000 procedures and followed the outcomes. They have the experience to know when it's your right time for RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
There are 5 things money can do for you: growth, liquidity, cash flow, protection, and tax advantages. Don't miss an opportunity because your current retirement plan only focuses on 2 or 3 of them. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.
We are facing an uncertain time when support for nonprofits is in danger. Now is the time to show up for them. Whether you give a little or a lot, every donation creates big change. Donate to nonprofits during Give Big on May 5th at wildgives.org. It's up to us.
This Memorial Day, get $525 off every window, $1,000 off every door, plus 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. It's 5:30. I'm Manda Factor. Foss High School in Tacoma is closed today. Police are still investigating exactly what led to a stabbing at the school that left 6 people injured. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch filed this report from the scene.
Tacoma police were called to Foss High School at about 1:40 for multiple stabbing victims. The suspect, a student, was among the injured along with 4 other students and a security guard. The events that led to the stabbings are unknown, but Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd says a team is on site to figure it all out.
Our officers are here as well as our forensics unit, and they're just combing through the school, getting evidence, whether it be video, whether it be physical evidence that's left behind. So we also have witnesses that we're talking to, so we'll be here for a while.
Boyd says the suspect was taken into custody. Potential charges are unknown. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
After school activities canceled today, the school will reopen Monday with counselors and additional administrative staff on site. Seattle police are investigating a stabbing that happened overnight in Lake City. A man is critically hurt. Detectives say they got a call about 2:30 this morning after a fight outside a bar. A 26-year-old man had multiple stab wounds to the torso and leg. The suspect ran off before police arrived. Getting some new information on Wednesday's bomb scare near the Capitol State Forest.
The State Patrol's bomb squad removed and safely disposed of what turned out to be an active pipe bomb near an Olympia home along Waddell Creek Road. Thurston County Public Works crews found it while picking up trash. It was 11 inches by 2 inches and wrapped in multiple layers of duct tape. Homes in the area were evacuated while the bomb squad did its work. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Check the calendar. It is May 1st, and May Day rallies are taking place across the state today, including at Seattle's Cal Anderson Park, where thousands will protest federal crackdowns on immigration starting at noon. Sylvia Gonzalez, community organizer with Casa Latina, says they want to deliver a clear message in the face of ICE deportations.
This is a very important moment for us, for the domestic worker. Go outside and say, here we are. And we are looking for more protection.
The protest will start with a rally at the park, followed by a roughly 2-mile march. Seattle Children's wants to revisit a decades-old policy that requires non-urgent medical flights to land about a mile away. More from KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson.
If a patient is facing anything but critical injuries, Children's Hospital helicopters have to land at this helipad built by UW's athletic fields. Then they have to get in an ambulance and drive about a mile the rest of the way to Children's Hospital. And it's all because of some people living here in the Laurelhurst neighborhood complaining about the helicopters going over their homes.
The issue came up after a now-deleted social media post from someone claiming to be a life flight pilot who criticized the policy. It was developed in 1992. Well, a couple of big tech moguls say no, they are not interested in buying the Seahawks. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Apple CEO Tim Cook denying a report from Front Office Sports that named them as potential bidders. Meta spokesperson told Bloomberg Zuckerberg is not making an offer. A person familiar with Cook also denied his involvement. The Seahawks, yes, they are for sale, but so far no potential buyers have been confirmed. 5:33, just a quick correction before traffic. Hope I didn't make you drive off the road when I said gas is now $6.61 a gallon. Oops, it's early. I meant $5.61. Wow. But it is a new all-time high in
Well, let me
Washington.
put it to you this way. My little bellwether AM/PM on 164th and Mill Creek has gone up 30 cents this week.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah.
Didn't you say it was still below $5?
It was hanging on to $4.99 as of Friday morning, Monday morning, $4.99.
Not anymore.
$5.29 this morning.
Happy Friday.
Yeah. That's glad I'm driving a little Toyota Corolla right now. So, good day out there on the roads right now. So if the gas that's in your car will be doing its job and not wasting and idle. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle of about 35 minutes, 35 as well from Puyallup to Renton. A little bit of braking is through the ramp meter there, getting up to 405. And then Renton to Bellevue is only 15 minutes. Lake Bridge is quiet. Coming down from the north end, a quiet day as well from Marysville to Everett to Linwood, all the way down to Seattle or to Bellevue. 35 minutes out of Everett to either one of those destinations. Northbound I-5, Olympia to Tacoma has no problems. And a reminder again, that's westbound Highway 18 is closed from I-90 to the Issaquah Hobart Road. It's going to be that way through the weekend. They're doing the final widening paving there. They need to get that done before they really put a bow on that project. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
No matter what happens on the roads this morning, take solace in knowing it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. For today, mix of clouds and sun, 71, 73 in the sunshine for tomorrow. Sunny on Sunday, 81 is now the prediction. Same deal on Monday. We'll cool off to the low 70s on Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, clear skies and 55.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
It's 5:36, entering the first weekend of May. It's going to be beautiful and warm, and if you're still looking for something fun to do, KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden has you covered.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Hello and welcome to May. Friendly reminder that this weekend is not Mother's Day, but don't forget to plan ahead as you enjoy the sunshine this weekend. The Festal program returns with the Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month celebration. This free event is Saturday and will have the usual Festal favorites like plenty of food, traditional and contemporary performances, activities for the kids, and lots more. This event also kicks off the AANHPI-HMC Heritage Month, so the celebrations will be ongoing. It is going to be the perfect weekend to get out on the water, and there are a couple of things going on that will help you do just that, or at least get you close to the action. Rowers from around the world are here in Seattle for the Windermere Cup. You'll be able to watch the UW Huskies take on teams from around the world while soaking up the sunshine on the Montlake Cut. The opening day boat parade will be today at noon, and if you really want to go all in for the Cup, there's the Party on the Cut kickoff event tonight at 6 at the University of Washington. You'll need to buy a ticket, and it's only for those 21 and up. There's a May Day celebration and potluck going on at the Meridian Playground, hosted by the Fremont's Art Council on Saturday. Make sure you bring a dish to contribute as you get ready to dance around the maypole. There will also be a flower headdress making, arts and crafts for the kids, and of course live music. This event is free to attend. The Seattle Art Museum is putting on a night organized by teens for teens during Teen Night Out. This is a free event for teenagers aged 14 to 19, and the theme this year is Sunken Soiree, which will explore the world of jazz and underwater glamour. There will be a photo booth, shell-inspired art making, and other hands-on activities, plus a ballroom at the bottom of the ocean. Teen Night Out is tonight, starting at 7. When was the last time you checked in on your neighbors or did something for your neighborhood? That's the idea behind Neighbor Day, where there are a variety of events happening across neighborhoods in Seattle. The events range from volunteering, gardening classes, Cinco de Mayo parties, clothing swaps, and lots more. Check out more details on mynorthwest.com. Neighbor Day is Saturday. There's a Cinco de Mayo party on Saturday at Plaza de Roberto Maestas. There will be live music, cultural performances, a raffle, traditional Mexican food to eat, plus local vendors, fun for the kids, and lots more. This celebration is free to attend. If you're a fan of old tech or want to see just how much computers have changed in such a short amount of time, check out the Tukwila Community Center on Saturday and Sunday for the Vintage Computer Festival Pacific Northwest. There will be over 25 exhibits, presentations, and original working machines. The event is free to attend, but there is a suggested $10 donation. The Mariners are back in town this weekend, and it is a weekend full of celebration as Randy Johnson's number will be retired. That means lots of promos, and the weather is going to be perfect for baseball. The Mariners take on the Kansas City Royals before welcoming the Atlanta Braves on Monday. Are you getting ready for summer? What's your plan? Let me know at paulh@KIRORadio.com. Paul Holden, KIRO News Radio.
Well, oil prices have surged and retreated again because of worries about the Iran war. CBS News correspondent Kemi McCormick reports even if the war ends soon, a lot of summer travel plans could be ruined.
Parts of Europe are still worrying about how to fuel planes during the busy travel season.
The peak of the crisis will probably be felt in jet fuel, meaning people will fly less.
Analyst Dmitry Zhdanikov says jet fuel takes time to produce, so shortages at busy hubs like the UK could cause a ripple effect worldwide.
We're looking at a lot of flight cancellation this summer and a big staycation drive if the situation is not sorted within the next couple of weeks.
More national headlines coming up here on Seattle's Morning News.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Every 65 seconds, someone in the United States develops Alzheimer's disease. Many don't even know it.
I was lucky. We caught this at the very earliest stages. Pieces of my past are being erased.
Bright Focus Foundation's Alzheimer's Disease Research Program has invested more than $175 million in breakthrough research. Call us at 1-855-345-6237 or visit us online at brightfocus.org/brainhealth to learn more.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
We learn valuable life lessons from our loved ones. Lessons that protect our home and keep us safe. Like avoiding pests such as cockroaches that can be attracted to leaking pipes, or mice that are drawn to left out food. And standing water around your home can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Stopping pests that can spread disease is a valuable life lesson to pass down from one generation to the next. Learn how you can have a healthy, pest-free home. Visit pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
CBS News Brief. A new milestone in the Middle East war requires congressional approval to declare the conflict a war or authorize the use of force in Iran. CBS's Ed O'Keefe on the defense secretary's take.
Hegseth argued the current ceasefire with Iran means the 60-day deadline's on pause. Democrats say they disagree.
The conflict still driving up gas prices. Today's average, a new wartime high of $4.39 a gallon. For drivers like these two in Ohio, it's $4.80.
They just keep creeping up.
They kept jumping up every place we saw a gas station.
A new report says a farewell message written by the late Jeffrey Epstein weeks before he died may have been kept secret for years. CBS's Meg Oliver from New York.
His cellmate discovered a possible suicide note written by Epstein tucked in a novel, according to the New York Times. That cellmate is Nicholas Tartaglione. The alleged note was at some point sealed by a federal judge.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Our forecast, it's going to be a beautiful weekend around here. For today, mix of clouds and sun, 71 our high. Tomorrow, 73 in the sunshine, 81 is now the prediction for Sunday and Monday as well. Looks like we'll cool off and see some more clouds roll in on Tuesday into the low 70s. Right now in Seattle, clear skies, it's 55 degrees. And coming up, Washington Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Rakedahl joins the show to talk about the state's education budget and falling test scores. That's just ahead on Seattle's Morning News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
$83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Well, a commentary I wrote last week comparing Washington school spending to student test scores apparently got some attention in Olympia. I pointed out how national testing shows Mississippi outperformed Washington in reading and math scores, despite a massive increase in spending on education here. Well, Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Rakedahl reached out and asked to come on the show, and I appreciate that. Chris, welcome. Thanks for joining us. I wanted to give you a chance to respond. Where did I get it wrong?
Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate you all. And if you're getting any noise outside of here, there's a little roof replacement going on, so I apologize about that. So here's the thing I was hoping to talk about, and I appreciate you giving me a little time here. There is no Mississippi miracle. I'm close to the folks there. They've worked for 20 years to improve reading scores, and they're doing what we do. They're doing the science of reading, the phonemic awareness. They're teaching kids how to sound out sounds, and they're finally catching up to the country, which is great. And we're about exactly at the same spot by fourth grade. But by eighth grade, Mississippi sinks again to the bottom third of states. And then we're in a place where there's only 5 states that are outperforming us by eighth grade. So some of what we're trying to do is say, like, let's not depress anyone's results that are working hard. Good job, Mississippi. But it's not fair to say that Mississippi's outperforming Washington kids. And by eighth grade, we are absolutely ahead of them. Again, with only about 4 states outperforming us in eighth grade.
So I looked a little into that. I'm just curious because I'm no expert like you are, Chris, but the Urban Institute, researchers there adjusted the scores to account for poverty levels because Mississippi has a much poorer student population than Washington. They said when you level that playing field, Mississippi ranked very highly in 8th grade math in 2024. Is that an apples to apples comparison?
Well, I don't think so, but it matters. I mean, income matters a ton. So when they do those comparisons, it does try to help you understand where states are struggling with really high poverty. So think of Mississippi. They still have the $7 minimum wage. They're sort of really distressed. They get about twice as much money as Washington does from the federal government per kid. So there's a reason people are pouring money into that state. The reason I don't really like those data is it essentially says, well, let's just excuse kids who are low income. They should perform lower. Or kids of color should perform lower. And when you adjust for that, boy, they look great. That is not okay. We would be at the bottom third if we had that logic, given a history of all of our migration, the fact that we have the second largest immigrant population in the United States, second language learners, but only second to California. So I understand why they do that. It's still pretty diminishing to those families to say, well, we expect less of you. Therefore, when we make adjustments, we're actually doing pretty good. That's not okay.
I'm curious
to get Mississippi for their progress.
I'm curious to get your take on this, Chris, because Mississippi did pass a specific law with a phonics mandate, and they're holding kids back if they can't read by third grade. It seems to be working. Why doesn't Washington have something like that?
Yeah, let's take on two things. One, we walked up to that about 10 years ago and looked at the research, and our state legislature said no, because the effects of holding back kids by the time they graduate from high school is really bad. The dropout rate goes up. And here's the thing about Mississippi and others. There's about 5 states that do a lot of this. You get those good 4th grade scores because you then have 10-year-olds taking a test for the second time with another year of learning. And so in 4th grade, it looks like they're doing great. That same kid by 8th grade, again, just the results diminish. They fall way below Washington State, and then they continue to underperform after that. So there isn't a lot of science that says you should hold kids back. You get a nice short-term blip out of it. And you get a lot of 19-year-olds playing football in the Southeast Conference who are high school seniors who start college at 20, but it doesn't necessarily result in long-term success. And so lots of states have looked at it and said, not for us. But I do want to say it is up to families in this state, and any family that chooses to do that in coordination with their school, they can absolutely hold their kid back. And we do see some of that, just not the 8, 9, 10% that we see in southern states.
One of the things from your email to us, from your office's email, is that you want us to put in bigger context, global trends, factors outside school, the fact that 68% of Washington 4th graders aren't reading at grade level according to these tests is what concerned me. But I'm just curious, what specifically are you doing differently than you were 5 years ago? And how will we know if this is working?
Yeah, so grade level is unfortunately defined by too many people as ready for universities. And we do need about 35-40% of our kids going to universities, but basic is what really matters to a lot of kids because they need to go into an apprenticeship program.
But that's not the national standard, right? I mean,
it is the national standard. It's just people have defined proficiency as we design backwards. For example, in math, we design it backwards from calculus.
We always used to count proficiency. Yeah, that's. Look, I've got 2 kids in public school. I love public schools, but when I hear that basic is considered proficient, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. When I want kids to be achieving well, especially as we look at a challenging future in terms of a job market.
We agree, but challenging means that kids are ready for lots of things, from becoming a sheet metal worker all the way becoming an engineer. There's very few kids who are going to need to actually get to calculus. So when we say kids are at proficiency levels or basic levels, it matters to us. And we have a third of our kids who are not there in reading, and we have 45% of kids who aren't there in math. Now we're ahead of the nation on average in math, but the entire United States is struggling in math. We are never been more than middle of the pack in international exams, whereas in reading, we're top 6, top 8 in the world. So this is where I think we have this common mind, and I appreciate you letting me come on, because where we do need to really focus is mathematics. And so we're going to have to drive more resources into particularly kindergarten through 5th grade teachers, who some of them are pretty intimidated by teaching math. Mm-hmm. And it's something we've always said for too long, is like, oh, there's math kids and there's kids who can't do math. No, everyone can be a math kid if they get great instruction. So with our learning assistance program, you asked what we're doing. We're trying to drive lots of money into schools of high poverty in particular, to say, where can we focus on getting the best results? Reading is part of that for sure, but what every kid needs more of is mathematics. We have a goal in our state to get every 8th grader to Algebra 1 as best we can. 8th grade, so that's a high school level math course by 8th grade, because when they get there, we see their trajectory is massive, but it's only about a third of our kids. Again, we're ahead of the nation, but it's only 35% of our kids who are getting Algebra 1 by 8th grade. So earlier interventions in math is a critical step. That is the place where we should focus. That is where the data is unequivocal that Washington has to get better.
That's Superintendent of Public Instruction Chris Rakedahl with us here on Seattle's Morning News. It was a record-setting night in the NBA playoffs.
It was over early in Atlanta.
Anunoby on the drive, goes inside, counted, and a foul. He is relentless.
On ESPN, the Knicks surged to a double-digit lead over the Hawks.
Knicks just keep pouring it on. Brunson throws it up, and Bridges throws it down.
New York had a 47-point lead at halftime, the largest in playoff history. Their 40-15 lead at the end of the first quarter was the largest in the shot clock era. When it ended,
in a game they led by as many as 61, they win by 51.
140-89 the final as the Knicks eliminated Atlanta 4-2. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
It's 5:54 on your Friday morning. Are you ready for the heat? It's going to be a beautiful day. Mix of clouds and sun for today. 71 the high. 73 tomorrow, and then warming up to 81 on Sunday. Monday looks pretty much the same, and it'll still be nice on Tuesday, but we'll cool back down to the low 70s, down to 70 by Wednesday. But I don't see any rain in the forecast until at least Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, skies are clear. It's 55 degrees. Coming up here on Seattle's Morning News, more of the day's top local stories. Team coverage of the terrifying stabbing that took place at Foss High School in Tacoma yesterday. We have KIRO Newsradio's Corwin Hake and James Lynch on the story. Also, 60 days into the war with Iran. We're going to get the latest update on that with CBS White House reporter Olivia Ronaldo coming up at 6:15. Our inbox is always open for your news, tips, and story ideas at mynorthwest.com. And you can contact the show, please do, by texting us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. This is KIRO News Radio.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing, and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the Big Unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Summer's a busy time for businesses. WaFd bank accounts are designed to work with business owners like you, stay on top of every dollar, helping manage cash flow, pay vendors, and keep operations running smoothly. Get access to digital tools to simplify banking, like bill pay, signer and non-signer debit cards, and the option to upgrade your account as your business grows. Plus, our business bankers get to know you, so when you need help, we're there. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com, member FDIC.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20-plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Dr. Mark Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures, including mine, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. And we've interviewed over 100 of Dr. Wagner's patients, and we hear the same things. It changed my life. I'm back to doing the activities I love without pain. It really works. It's remarkable.
We love helping people get back to living life to the fullest and doing the things they enjoy most.
They also must really enjoy not having the pain and recovery time with surgery.
Stem cell therapy is a 60-minute, non non-surgical, minimally invasive procedure to eliminate pain, regenerate cartilage, treat tendon and ligament tears, osteoarthritis, and chronic tendinitis.
And you only use the patient's own stem cells.
That's right, their body's own stem cells.
So, whether it's a hip like me, an elbow, shoulder, or knee...
Don't forget ankles, wrists, and thumbs.
Yep, those patients too. Before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD first. Learn more at drmarkwagnermd.com.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. This is day 60 of the Iran war. That triggers a provision of the War Powers Act requiring Congress to vote on continued fighting. But President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth insist it's not needed because the war is on hold. Meantime, many Democrats are worried about the price. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
The Pentagon officials testified that the cost of the war was about $25 billion, but our Ellie Watson and Olivia Gazes have reported that it's actually closer to $50 billion. And the reason why it is that price tag is because the Pentagon is factoring in the cost of the damage and destruction so far at some of the U.S. bases in the region, also the Reaper drones that have been lost.
Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari's just warned interest rate hikes could be needed soon if price shocks from the war are larger than expected. One of those shocks is the price of gas, and it's making driving painfully expensive. The national average for a gallon of regular has jumped 9 cents from yesterday to $4.39 a gallon. In California, these drivers are paying an average of $6.06.
Don't even want to think about the whole cost of filling up my tank.
It just keeps going up.
Some people choosing not to drive at all, maybe stay home.
President Trump predicts a rapid drop is on the way. The shutdown at the Department of Homeland Security is officially over. Republicans have voted to end the standoff with Democrats and deal with their demands for changes to immigration enforcement separately. Correspondent Nicole Killian is on Capitol Hill.
76 days of delays, furloughs, and frustration. Some 7-hour airport security lines and members of the Coast Guard about to go unpaid as soon as today.
Technical glitches are plaguing New York State's annual standardized testing for school kids for the second year in a row.
Many students in grades 3 through 8 could not log in to take their math or English exams Wednesday. Others got in but were kicked offline during the test. There is no backup paper exam. The firm that developed the digital test blamed a problem with the server, which has been fixed, but some schools statewide have yet to reschedule the tests, which are not required for students to move on to the next grade. Schools have until May 15th to administer the tests. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
Our CBS Morning Studios filled with young students hanging out with the Artemis II astronauts, among them pilot Victor Glover.
How did it feel to be the first person of color to fly to or around the moon?
If you think about that can add pressure and make you not, go up there and play your best game. And so I focused a lot on working with this team and trying to be a good teammate, trying to be a good teammate to them and also receive from them their good teamwork.
This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
6:03, let's check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic on the 3s.
Morning for Charlie on this Friday. We're enjoying a pretty good day. To start things off, we're looking at 35 minutes just about everywhere we are going between our major commuting routes. That's what we have from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue, so no action quite there yet. Olympia to Tacoma is only 35. Tacoma itself is quiet. And Federal Way to Seattle's about 35 minutes as well. Valley Freeway, not bad. from Puyallup all the way up, even through the ramp meter at the far north end, 35 minutes or less to make that trip. Rented to Bellevue is only 15. The lake bridges are still in very good shape. One thing to keep in mind, though, if you use westbound 18, it is closed from I-90 to the Issaquah-Hobart Road, basically over Tiger Mountain. They are doing some construction work, doing the final paving and striping for the new widening project there. It's going to stay that way till about 4 a.m. on Monday morning. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. Foss High School in Tacoma is closed today. Police continue to investigate a mass stabbing that injured 6, including the suspect, a student now in custody.
We begin our team coverage with KIRO News Radio's James Lynch, who filed this report from the scene.
Tacoma police were called to Foss High School at about 1:40 for multiple stabbing victims. The suspect, a student, was among the injured, along with 4 other students and a security guard. The events that led to the stabbings are unknown, but Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd says a team is on site to figure it all out.
Our officers are here, as well as our forensics unit, and they're just combing through the school, getting evidence, whether it be video, whether it be physical evidence that's left behind. So we also have witnesses that we're talking to, so we'll be here for a while.
Boyd says the suspect was taken into custody. Potential charges are unknown. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And I'm Corwin Hake live. The Tacoma School District tells us classes at Foss will resume Monday with counselors on hand as we learn more about what led up to this stabbing incident. Cell phone video taken inside the school shows a brawl in progress before the stabbing. 4 or 5 kids, presumably students, throwing punches and grappling on the floor. Police arrived and quickly arrested a male suspect, also a student. And as you've heard, that suspect was one of the 5 who suffered stab wounds. So what was this all about? Investigators are not saying what they've learned so far, but parent Diana Corbin shared this with KIRO News Radio.
According to the kids that were coming out of the school who did see it, it was over a vape battery. And so there's going to be potential loss of life just for a vape battery. It seems so idiotic to me.
Well, fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone will lose their life in this incident. Those injured are considered in stable condition. But for the Foss community, this stabbing may revive painful memories from nearly 20 years ago, January of 2007, when 17-year-old student Sam Nangkok was shot to death by another student in a school hallway. Reporting live, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
6:06 now. May Day rallies are taking place across the state today, including Seattle's Cal Anderson Park, where thousands will protest federal crackdowns on immigration. This will start at noon.
Sylvia Gonzalez, community organizer with Casa Latina, says they want to deliver a clear message in the face of ICE deportations.
This is a very important moment for us, for the domestic worker. Go outside and say, here we are. And we are looking for more protection.
The protest will begin with a rally at the park, followed by a roughly 2-mile march.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Well, here it is. We've made it to Friday, May 1st.
It's gonna be May.
It is May.
Little in sync for you this Friday morning. Good morning, Amanda.
Hello. Nice to have you here, Charlie.
It's good to be here on the day before the weekend. Busy one in front of all of us, I'm sure. We have Sully in the studio. Producer David Burbank is keeping us on track, at least trying to. Nick Krasia running the board and picking the music. And we have John Repp and Corwin Hake out in the newsroom.
It is going to be a beautiful weekend for baseball. Mariners back in action. Tomorrow night, the team will retire number 51 for the second time.
The big guy is ready to come back with a 1-2 pitch, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's done it. Randy Johnson has just struck out his 11th man. An Amazing performance by the big unit.
The one, the only Dave
Yeah.
Niehaus. Randy Johnson, the big unit, will be honored tomorrow night as the M's take on the Kansas City Royals. That series begins tonight at 6:45. Of course, you can catch the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control. And coming up, we're 60 days into the war with Iran. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been testifying in Congress about this war this week. We'll have an update from CBS White House correspondent.
It's now 6:09. Well, gas prices continue to set new records every day around the state. No end in sight. GasBuddy.com says the average price in Washington is now $5.59 a gallon. AAA pegs it at $5.61. In Seattle, the average price is now $5.79.
Prosecutors have charged a Seattle man in a violent attack on a 77-year-old man in downtown Seattle. Prosecutors say 29-year-old Ahmed Osman is charged with felony assault for the attack near 3rd and Pike shortly before midnight, April 19th. Charging documents say the victim was knocked to the ground at random, suffered a broken arm, knee, and a gash on his forehead.
When you break a bone as a young person, it hurts and it takes a long time to recover. When you're 77, even in great shape, it's a lot harder.
Casey McNerthy in the King County Prosecutor's Office says they're asking for bail to be set at $200,000, and police are still looking for a second suspect.
Police in Marysville have opened a homicide investigation now after the body of a young woman was found in a waste bin. KIRO 7's El Thomas says that gruesome discovery happened Wednesday near a Grove Street apartment complex.
We heard from the man who found that body. Bob Stocks tells us he got the shock of his life when he says he noticed a green yard waste bin on the sidewalk that didn't belong to his apartment complex.
That bin was pretty heavy, and so I opened it up to see what was in it, and lo and behold, there was a body. Stepped back, took a few deep breaths, tried to collect myself as much as I could, and called 911.
Detectives arrived on scene, spent several hours gathering evidence.
Marysville police want to hear from anyone who has information. Just call 911.
Seattle Children's Hospital wants to revisit a decades-old policy that requires non-urgent medical flights to land about a mile away. Here's KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson.
If a patient is facing anything but critical injuries, Children's Hospital helicopters have to land at this helipad built by UW's athletic fields. Then they have to get in an ambulance and drive about a mile the rest of the way to Children's Hospital. And it's all because of some people living here in the Laurelhurst neighborhood complaining about the helicopters going over their home.
Issue came up after a now deleted social media post from someone claiming to be a life flight pilot who criticized the policy, which was developed in 1992.
Washington's measles outbreak is growing, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
The State Department of Health has 3 more confirmed cases, 2 in Kittitas County, 1 in Spokane County, and there's no known exposure source. Officials say that could mean measles is spreading undetected. The state has logged 40 cases so far this year. Last year, there were only 12. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump says let Iran play in the World Cup in Seattle. He told reporters in the Oval Office he's on the same page as FIFA President Gianni Infantino.
I said, you do whatever you want. You can have them. You don't have to have them. Probably have a good team. I don't know. Do they have a good team? Do you have any idea?
I have no idea.
Would be hard to believe, actually.
Infantino reiterated that Iran will compete, including a match versus Egypt in Seattle, despite the country's human rights record and the ongoing war. Speaking in Vancouver, BC, the FIFA president says the World Cup should unite nations through soccer.
It's now 6:12, and that's time for a check on the weather for the weekend. And we bring in KIRO 7's Nick Allard. I see something in your forecast that I didn't think I would.
Donuts?
I
Do you
wish.
guys have donuts?
No, if I did, I'd share.
Oh. Okay, what do you see?
I'm seeing an 8.
Yep.
All right.
I done did it. I did it. I done did it. Yeah, we got 80, 81 for Sunday. And honestly, probably about the same for Monday. Monday's interesting because what happens on Sunday is we cut off the moderating effect of the ocean, which means that anybody that typically is influenced by ocean air, a.k.a. Western Washington, won't be. So it's going to find, warmer, drier air moving in, and you get air that comes off the Cascades, and it's quite literally by compression forced to warm, and you just get a different source region. So all that said, temps just bounce up like crazy on Sunday. But then on Monday, I do think Seattle and a lot of the Central Sound you don't get the impact of the ocean air that's trying to come in. I do think you'll feel it at the coast and probably for a few places like in the South Sound. So you're going to find some cooler conditions Monday, but also quite a few places that are as hot or hotter. So Monday's kind of tricky. You're going to be sort of split all over the place between finding some 70s and some 80s and some mid-80s. And I think the hottest places will be in the Cascade foothills on Sunday and or at the coast. So, yes, you do have some real heat coming your way. Today's going to be 70 with some high clouds. Tomorrow's going to be cloudy in the morning and then sunshine in the mid-70s. And then Sunday, Monday, of course, the hot days. So, yeah, we're on our way to some really hot weather. By Tuesday, Wednesday, everybody is right back into the low 70s. So it doesn't last very long, thankfully.
That'll make a lot of people happy. Thank you very much, Nick. It's clear and 55 in Seattle right now.
At 6:13, it's time to check traffic on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Enjoying a good Friday, a fast Friday, Friday light, call it what you will. We're looking at really easy conditions. Federal Way to Seattle, 35 minutes. Valley Freeway, about 35 as well from Puyallup to Renton. Though we have picked up a little hesitation getting right into Kent and a little bit through the ramp meter going to 405. And then Renton to Bellevue is under 20 minutes, probably closer to 17 at this point. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys. 30 minutes on that drive. Coming down from the north end, nice and easy. 35 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Now, to a couple things, I could use some help from my KIRO drivers. For any of you guys on the Renton-Issaquah Road, or SR 900 as we like to call it, kind of between Cougar Mountain and Squawk Mountain at Tibbetts Creek there, kind of working your way into Issaquah. I see a bunch of red on my map, but I've got no cams and not a lot of info there. It looks like we have something that might be impacting both directions. Why is this important? Well, a lot of people are going to be using westbound I-90 to SR 900 to get around the closure of westbound 18. Did you follow all that? Westbound 18 is closed at Snoqualmie from I-90 down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road for construction, and SR 900 is a primary backup route. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
It's now 6:15 on your Friday morning. A contentious hearing yesterday as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth appeared in front of a congressional committee to talk about the Iran war.
This as we enter day 60 of the conflict in the Middle East. Let's get an update on the war and what the Trump administration is saying about it with CBS White House correspondent Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, good morning. Let's start with a congressional hearing yesterday with Secretary Hegseth. Anything surprise you in that meeting?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, the one thing that actually stuck out to me, and you kind of just mentioned it, was today is the 60th day of the war in Iran, a conflict that the president said would last only between 4 to 6 weeks. But now we're on day 60. And the reason why that's important is because after 60 days, the president and the Pentagon actually have to get congressional approval to call this a war, to call this a conflict, and then be able to use that military force in the region. Otherwise, they would technically have to withdraw those troops. But yesterday we heard from Secretary Hegseth and said, well, it's not really applicable, this 60-day mark, because we're technically in a ceasefire and there's no active bombing or shooting happening right now. So therefore, it's not 60 days and that doesn't quite count. Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia really cast doubt on that. He said, I don't really think that's the way this works. He is also the senator who has been bringing forth these proposals requiring the White House to seek authorization of military force. That proposal has now failed 6 times. But the long and short of it is really that we now have Republicans who are wary of passing this 60-day mark, and they want more details from this White House, including the price tag and how much longer they think this conflict will go on. The White House so far is saying the blockade will remain in place until they get a lasting peace deal. But for their part, the Iranians have been saying, we can do some sort of peace deal. We can keep a ceasefire and we can reopen the strait. But let's talk about the nuclear issue at a later date. And that has really been a non-starter right now for the Trump administration.
I called it a contentious hearing, but that might be a bit of an understatement.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, anytime you have someone from this administration up on Capitol Hill testifying, they're testifying to a party of one. They want to have the soundbite that President Trump is going to commend them on. So that's why you really see a lot of these contentious hearings and a lot of pushback from people in the administration. With Secretary Hegseth, it's really no different. Anytime something was brought up about the way Trump has been handling the conflict, the way the military has been handling the conflict, he has pushed back. He's spoken a lot about former President Biden. So there's really been a lot of that type of reaction from the secretary. Not surprising, though.
So the administration is saying this war has cost around $25 billion. We're hearing from CNN that some estimate it to be $40 to $50 billion. Were there any questions from the secretary about, or for the secretary about the cost of this war?
Yeah, he even repeated that figure, that 25 billion figure. And actually, CBS was able to confirm that CNN report that it's actually closer to 50 billion. And the reason why it's that 50 billion is because they are factoring the damages and destruction in the region to U.S. military bases. Remember that massive attack, that drone attack that Iran had that killed 6 U.S. service members that really destroyed part of that base. So that's what went into the calculation to make it 50 billion. Also, the fact that the U.S. has lost some 24 Reaper drones, those cost in the ballpark of 30 million apiece. So think about that. 24 times 30 million, already, 700 and some odd $million. You can add on to that figure. But of course, it's a lot of money that they are putting into this conflict and this war at this moment, not to mention just a lot of artillery. And that's creating its own set of conflicts and concerns, even amongst the administration, even among people like Vice President J.D. Vance.
Olivia, I don't know what you are paying for gas there, but our statewide average just went up to $5.61. Did the secretary have anything to say about gas and oil prices?
Wow, that is high. We're high here. It's about, I haven't filled up. I try to go as long as I can without filling up, which, to my dad, he's like, you need to fill up your gas. But anyways, it's about $4.60 here. He said $4.60? It's $4.60, about that. But I usually cross over into Virginia to get gas. It's cheaper than in D.C., which, is its own thing. But the secretary yesterday on gas prices really said that they do expect them to come down, kind of repeating what President Trump said, that he hopes that by the end of the year, by the midterms, gas prices will come down. But that's at odds with other members of the Trump administration. Energy Secretary Chris Wright had said even a couple of weeks ago that he expects gas prices won't get below $3 again until 2027. Extremely notable, because last time gas prices were below $3 were in December of this year. It feels like a far cry away and a long time away, but really wasn't. It was just a couple of months ago that Americans were feeling that. So it's already at a point where gas prices have skyrocketed to their highest levels in 4 years. Americans are starting to feel that, and that's why you have this negative sentiment about the war in Iran. And messaging from the White House has been, well, we can't let them have a nuclear weapon. But really, the American people are saying, my gas prices are high, though, and that's impacting everything else. So there's a messaging issue here as well.
Olivia, while we have you, you're also covering the latest detail about the guy who allegedly opened fire outside the Correspondents Association dinner over the weekend. What is the latest?
Yeah, actually, yesterday we saw a video, a very chilling video in color of this person, Cole Allen, who was basically scoping out the hallways beforehand, the days before when he arrived at the hotel, because we know he checked in on that Friday. And before we had just seen grainy video of this, but now we have it in full color at speed of this individual coming through the magnetometers. You can see his gun very clearly, and you can also see the shots that were fired by the Secret Service agent, and you can see the shot that was fired by Cole Allen. And this is to prove that it wasn't friendly fire that ultimately struck that U.S. Secret Service agent, that it actually was Cole Allen, the alleged shooter, who went through, fired off one shot right to the chest of the Secret Service agent. And then he had return fire. And then we don't have the visual yet of when he was ultimately tackled and taken down, but you can see the moments beforehand. You can see him duck into this little area, this little like hallway area, take off his jacket, and then start that full sprint. We also saw him yesterday in court again. He is being held until trial. He's not being able to post bail. We at CBS Now know, we were able to report that he is in solitary confinement, that he is wearing a green suicide vest as of late. He's allowed to have material shipped to him, like religious materials, but he hasn't asked for anything yet. He's eating finger foods at the moment. So these are all things kind of painting the picture of this individual who had no criminal record before Saturday night, but then ultimately decided to rush into the White House Correspondents' Dinner and try to cause a mass shooting and an assassination attempt.
CBS White House correspondent Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, listen to your dad. Go get some gas today. Prices are going up.
I will. Thank you.
6:23 now. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
Still enjoying a very good day out there across the board. Some brake lights here and there. We're starting to see a little action in the Renton S-curves, but nothing that you can't handle. We're under 20 minutes, though, to make that drive to Bellevue. Little spillover onto the Valley Freeway, a little bit in Auburn, but overall 35 to 40 minutes from Puyallup to Renton's a good drive. Olympia to Tacoma, you don't tap the brakes really much at all, and you won't really until you get up to about the West Seattle Bridge. Overall, 30 minutes to Tacoma and then 35 Federal Way to Seattle. We're still under 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Still a very good drive there. Looking at Renton to Bellevue, if I didn't give you that, it's already about 20 minutes. The S-curves are starting to get a little active. I think I already mentioned that. We are looking at a crash primarily in the northbound or eastbound direction of SR 900, just after Tibbetts Creek. If you make that drive kind of by Pacific Topsoil, that's kind of the biggest place right there, or the kind of the trailhead to get up to Squawk Mountain. But either way, we're looking at heavy braking in the the eastbound direction there, getting into Issaquah. We're also working with the closure of westbound Highway 18 from I-90 to the Issaquah Hobart Road. That's for construction. It's going to be that way through Monday morning. This report brought to you by the Seattle Mariners Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night, presented by T-Mobile, Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets, mariners.com.
And the forecast calls for a high in the low to mid 70s today and tomorrow. We could be talking 80 or so on Sunday and Monday. A lot of sunshine on tap. Right now in Seattle, it's 49.
And coming up, we continue our team coverage of the stabbings of Foss High School in Tacoma yesterday. Our James Lynch and Corwin Hake have you covered. We'll also get to the opening bell report here on Seattle's Morning News.
We're here for Closets by Design. Callie was out at our house last week taking the measurements, and next week, Closets by Design is taking care of our guest bedroom. It is so cramped in there because we also use it as a home office. What they're going to do is install a Murphy bed as well as have some desk space so I can be writing my commentaries in the afternoon. It's freeing up so much room in our spare bedroom, and that's what Closets by Design is all about. It's about space you can actually use. Not just closets, we're talking pantries, laundry rooms, home offices. They do it all, and it's all custom built in Kent, designed for your home. Nothing is off a shelf. Everything is pre-made. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 40% off. Plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. So go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
This May, stock up on beautiful annual plants from Sky Nursery, especially if Mom likes flowers. A hanging basket for a shady spot, a patch of Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate, or straw flowers to keep in a year-round dried bouquet. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. skynursery.com.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protected with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
This is Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Having trouble with the government agency? Tired of dealing with red tape? I'll help you get the benefits you've earned. My office is here to help you with Social Security, Medicare, the VA, passports, and more. We've recovered millions of dollars for taxpayers and stand ready to help you. Call me at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
We're facing an uncertain time when support for nonprofits is in danger. Now is the time to show up for them. Whether you give a little or a lot, every donation creates big change. Donate to nonprofits during Give Big on May 5th at wildgives.org. It's up to us.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Tacoma's Foss High School is closed today. After-school activities are canceled after yesterday's on-campus stabbing that sent 5 students and a security officer to the hospital.
We get the updates live now from KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
5 counts of first-degree assault. Police say those are the charges a Foss High School student faces after the incident in which 6 were wounded, including the suspect. Cell phone video taken inside the school shows the stabbing was preceded by a hallway brawl. At least 4 students are seen throwing punches and trading body blows. It's unknown if the stabbing itself was caught on camera. Shelby Boyd is with Tacoma PD. She tells KIRO 7 News.
We responded quickly. We were able to get the scene contained and get the other students out to their families. It's unfortunate. This shouldn't be happening in our schools.
Classes were canceled on the spot and parents rushed to pick up their kids. Student Brogan Avey says for his school, this is not a good look.
Foss is a great school, and I just don't want this to represent us.
School reopens Monday, and according to the Foss website, counselors and additional administrative staff will be on site to support staff and students. The latest word on the wounded, by the way, is that all are now in stable condition. Charlie and Amanda?
That is good to hear. Corwin Hake reporting live. It's 6:31.
A man convicted of a double murder in Maple Valley has been sentenced to 84 years in prison.
43-year-old Brandon Gerner killed Ashley Williams and Robert Riley in November of 2023 at a commercial property, which Riley had been guarding after previous break-ins. Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecutor's Office says Williams was stabbed about 19 times and also shot. Riley was shot too.
What prosecutors said was that level of violence is really unfathomable.
Prosecutors say Gerner and 2 accomplices loaded their bodies into a truck and dumped them alongside a road. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle aviation attorney Mark Lindquist files another lawsuit against another airline for another passenger injured on their watch. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with details.
Lindquist says the latest lawsuit involves a Delta Airlines international flight from Cancun to Seattle in 2024. After the plane touched down at SEA, fire broke out. As smoke filled the cabin, passengers took the escape chutes, and the 61-year-old woman severely injured her back.
Under the Montreal Convention, which governs international flights such as this, the airline is liable for any accident, even when there isn't negligence or recklessness.
Lindquist says he expects the case to be settled out of court. James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
Well, just ahead of our traffic and weather, as you enjoy the warm weather and sunshine this weekend, safety experts want to make sure you know local lakes and streams are still very cold. Lake Washington is about 56 degrees right now. Many rivers are only in the 40s.
What surprises people is the rivers. If they get in there, it's going to be bone-chilling cold, and if you're not prepared for that, your energy could be sapped really quickly and thrown downstream, especially when there's currents involved.
Peter Mongelo with Snohomish Fire and Rescue says if you go into the water, wear a life jacket and keep an eye on children.
6:33 now. Time for traffic on the threes with Chris Sullivan.
Friday light across the board with a couple of little exceptions. I'm going to start with the Renton S-curves, which are kind of active between just before the Maple Valley Highway up to SR 900. But overall, you've got about a 20-minute trip from Renton to Bellevue. Really isn't too bad. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is running under 40. We do have a pretty sizable backup on SR 900 itself between Cougar Mountain and Squawk Mountain, kind of by Tibbetts Creek. They're heading in the northbound or eastbound direction there. Not sure how many lanes are blocked or what exactly we're dealing with there. DOT hasn't gotten back to me, but we have about a mile back up there. Why is that important? Well, that's a commuter route to kind of a detour route really now, because SR 18 is closed from I-90 westbound all the way over Tiger Mountain to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. Construction window started last night about 8 o'clock, and it's going to be that way till about 4 a.m. on Monday. So keep that in mind throughout the weekend. Federal Way to Seattle, about 40 minutes now. It's a little slowing past the Kent Des Moines Road, a little bit at the north end too. Behind that, though, Olympia to Tacoma is only 35 minutes. Out of the north end, definitely seeing some braking now south of Canyon Park, a little bit right there in Northgate. Give yourself 40 minutes to make that trip from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Beautiful weather for the weekend. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds today, 71. Back to mostly sunny skies tomorrow, 73. Looking for highs around 80, both Sunday and Monday. If that's too hot for you, we'll cool off to the low 70s by Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, we have clear skies. It's 55.
Time for the opening bell report. It's been a week of record-breaking gas prices around the nation and around our state. The average price for regular in Washington state now, well, it depends on who you ask. $5.59 according to Gas Buddy, $5.61 according to AAA. In Seattle, the average price is at $5.79. The national average is currently $4.42.
Well, President Trump said again yesterday oil and gas prices will drop after the war with Iran is over. But for now, back up to levels last seen around the start of the war in Ukraine during the Biden administration. CBS News senior business and tech correspondent Jolene Kent reports from a gas station in Los Angeles that its impact is much more than on gas.
The national average for a gallon of regular is now $4.37, the highest since the war with Iran began, and the highest since July 2022.
I'm looking at right now $75 a day in fuel alone.
Lyft driver Romeo Tillman in Minneapolis says he's taking home much less than usual every shift.
Ford bringing back an employee perk in the nick of time, from rising gas prices to concerns about inflation, and all ahead of the country's big 4th of July festivities. Here's WWJ's Jeff Gilbert.
The campaign ties in with America's 250th birthday, says Ford sales director Robert Caffel. He says employee pricing is popular because it's easy to understand.
And we think, opening up employee pricing cuts through is this a good time to buy? Am I getting the best deal that's out there?
Ford ran a successful employee pricing promotion last year in an effort to ease concerns about tariff-related price increases. Jeff Gilbert, CBS News, Detroit.
A growing number of older Americans are having to continue in the workforce well past retirement age. This as President Trump signed an executive order yesterday that put some meat on the bones of a retirement savings proposal he introduced in his State of the Union. CBS News consumer tech and business reporter Maya Blackstone wrote about this for CBS Money Watch.
President Trump signed an executive order launching the TrumpIRA.gov. It's a new website
where basically millions of Americans without a workplace retirement plan can open a low-cost IRA account starting next year. So it's basically meant to close this retirement coverage gap, and it's going to target more than 50 million workers who work at small businesses, part-time workers, contractors, self-employed people who currently have no easy way to save for retirement on the job.
We now know how much Microsoft's voluntary buyouts will cost the company. Microsoft CEO Amy Hood laid out the numbers during Wednesday's earnings call.
Roughly $900 million in one-time costs for the recently announced voluntary retirement program.
That cost is only a fraction of Microsoft's most recently quarterly profit of nearly $32 billion. About 7% of the company's U.S.-based employees are eligible for the buyout.
A couple of big tech moguls say no, they are not interested in buying the Seahawks. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg and Apple CEO Tim Cook deny a report from Front Office Sports that named them as potential bidders. The Seahawks are for sale, but so far no potential buyers have been confirmed.
Well, if you're flying Delta this summer, you'll be able to watch live sports from your seat. Delta just teamed up with Fox One to offer free streaming through its onboard Wi-Fi. SkyMiles members get a 24-hour free trial on their personal devices. Fox also available on seatback screens. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, it brings more than 5,000 hours of programming on board and comes just in time for the World Cup, which starts June 11th. 6 matches being played in Seattle.
And a waterfront mansion in Hunts Point just sold for $38 million. One of the priciest home sales ever in the Puget Sound area. The Puget Sound Business Journal reports the estate belongs to Bruce and Jolene McCaw. It was originally listed back in 2022 for $85 million. The property sits on more than 4 acres, 327 feet of Lake Washington waterfront. It includes a dock built for a 150-foot yacht, even a seaplane. Before the McCaws owned it, saxophonist Kenny G lived there.
All right. I wonder what the mortgage would be on something like that.
I don't know if you even have a mortgage if you can buy something like that.
Fair enough. On Wall Street right now, we're opening to positive territory. The Dow is up 191 points. The S&P 500 ahead by 38, and the NASDAQ has gained 180.
2 farms close in our state every day, and it's getting harder for farmers to get their food to your table. KIRO 7 News talks with farmers, getting to the bottom of why the healthy local foods you love are disappearing from our stores. From rising costs to rising prices, so what will it take to protect our farms, your food supply, and your wallet? That's Monday, 5:30, only on KIRO 7 News.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up?
Well, we're going to take a look at the crash we're working with on SR 900 and 405 northbound. We'll break them both down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the Big Unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO Newsradio.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means sitting front row at a comedy show.
Hey everyone, check out this guy and his bird. What is this, your first date?
Oh, no. We help people customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual together. We're married. Me to a human, him to a bird.
Yeah, the bird looks out of your league anyways.
Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up. Get ready to celebrate the big unit all weekend. We've got 2 incredible events lined up, both presented by T-Mobile. Tonight is Randy Johnson 80s Jersey Night, and tomorrow is the big unit's number retirement ceremony night, featuring a historic pregame celebration starting at 6 p.m. Get your tickets now at mariners.com/big unit.
6:43 now. We check in with Chris Sullivan for traffic.
And we got a little bit of breaking news to deal with at this point. For those of you on MLK, kind of work your way through South Seattle. We are looking at right there at South Alaska Street. We have a crash with a car on its side right in between the light rail tracks. And there's a big light show, so it's impacting both directions of the road itself. But light rail service on the one line has been suspended between Othello and Mount Baker because of this. Waiting to get more information. But yeah, there's a car on its side there. Not sure if a train was involved. I don't see one. We're waiting to get more info, but either way, this is going to cause a little problem. Tows are on the scene. Everybody's there trying to figure out what's happening. And back onto its tires. They pushed it over. Yeah, just watching it live. Okay, so either way, we're dealing with that. Now to the other crashes that we have on the board. One of them on eastbound SR 900, trying to make your way into Issaquah, right there by Pacific Topsoils. That's kind of the biggest thing around there. If you drive it every day, you know where that is. Tibbetts Creek would probably be the other, kind of geographical. But we have a pretty sizable backup now coming out of the Renton Highlands, East Highlands, trying to get up into Issaquah. The Renton S-curves themselves active, but about a 25-minute trip to make it up into Bellevue. Oh, by the way, there is a second car being put to, so this looks like a kind of a garden variety car accident on MLK, maybe not involving a train, a couple of different cars tangled. Sorry about that. I'm kind of all over the place watching my live video there. Federal Way to Seattle, about 40 minutes. Valley Freeway, under 40. Olympia to Tacoma, no problems for you guys, 35 minutes or less. About 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. And a reminder that westbound 18 is closed between I-90 and the Issaquah-Hobart Road for construction. This report brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered.
This is the only place you are going to get live play-by-play traffic with Sullivan.
Generally, yes.
Mix of clouds and sun. Beautiful Friday, 71 for today. Overnight lows around 50. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warming up to 73. And now we're looking for 81 Sunday and Monday. We'll cool off on Tuesday to the low 70s. Lots of sunshine for us. Right now, it's 55 in Seattle.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with the Mariners Fan of the Week. A look at some of the best fans in the world. Luke heads down to the ballpark next on Seattle's Morning News.
When it comes to financial planning, women often face different realities. For some, years were spent caregiving or raising children. Others were growing careers. Yet so often, investments and tax decisions were set aside or handled by someone else. And statistically, women live longer. Over the next 20 years, trillions will transfer to women only after the loss of a spouse. And suddenly, they're expected to make these complex decisions alone. That's why I created Growing Her Wealth. I'm Danielle Meister, a wealth advisor at Madrona Financial and CPAs. This initiative was built to empower women and integrate investments, tax strategy, and estate planning all under one roof. This is for men as well, husbands and wives, to ensure a coordinated long-term plan. It's about elevating family stewardship. If you or someone you love wants thoughtful guidance in a professional, supportive environment, join me at an upcoming seminar or webinar. Visit growingherwealth.com to reserve your seat today. Growing Her Wealth, financial confidence on your terms.
Madrona Financial Services is an SEC registered investment advisor.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Every week throughout the baseball season, KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey heads to the ballpark to catch up with some of the best fans in the world rooting on our Seattle Mariners. Here's Luke.
On a slow, sun-soaked Sunday afternoon, when the ballpark settles into those early innings, families enjoying the Rays, couples sharing a cold drink, and every other fan seems to be enjoying those Washington State Fairies. They are a pretty big hit. Follow the first baseline, though, meandering along the concourse. Beyond the oversized batting helmet nachos.
They're good. I've only tried a bite, but they're really good.
On the other side of the sumo dogs. And that's where you'll find Daniel and his son Julio.
Who's your favorite player?
Yes, he shares the same name as his favorite player.
First Mariners game, they were chanting Julio, and he thought, he was, super confused because he's like, why are they saying my name?
Daniel and Julio love the Mariners.
I grew up in Mill Creek, so I used to come here a bunch when I was growing up. But, it's all about him.
Go Mariners!
And Julio's just as happy on the Mariners playground, while Dad waits patiently on a bench nearby next to his son's Little League hat and glove, missing a few innings here and there on this day.
With a swing and a drive, deep to left field, going and going, goodbye baseball, Rob Ref Snyder.
But for Daniel, what matters most is simply being here together.
It's fun. He likes baseball. He's starting to understand what first base is and second base, so I think mainly he just wants to run around and be outside.
All right, Daniel, it's time for the speed round. What is your favorite Mariner moment?
Well, it's recent. Last year I was at the Grand Slam walk-off in the playoffs. So.
Get out the right bread and mustard, Grandma. It is grand salami time.
Who is your favorite Mariner?
Of all time? Ichiro. He just had swag. He was fast. I've never seen someone swing and run at the same time.
What's your go-to food at the ballpark?
I usually get sushi, over by home plate. Yeah.
Are you going to get ribbed for that? Some people would say you got to stick with a hot dog or something like that.
Glizzies are overrated.
What's your favorite team to hate?
The Houston Astros. Yeah.
Everyone says the Astros.
Yeah.
What is it about the Astros?
They just used to beat us up so badly, like a little bully. And then now we're the bullies.
Finally, what is your favorite Mariner uniform?
Teal, for sure.
Love the answers, and by the time we wrapped it all up, Daniel missed another Mariners home run.
JP swinging a drive deep to right field. Nimmo going back, looking up. Goodbye baseball. JP Crawford.
And once again, Daniel didn't seem to mind because there will always be more highlights to catch later.
There's a lot of pitches in the season.
And moments like these, they're what it truly means to be not just fan of the week, but dad of the week.
Okay, you have to watch the video.
Yeah.
Julio is adorable. So cute.
Yeah, we'll be posting that up on mynorthwest.com. You can also check it out on YouTube.
Well, a lot of people.
I love those stories.
I know, aren't they great?
Yeah.
Memories will be made this weekend at the ballpark, too. Mariners back in action, and tomorrow night the team will retire the number 51 for the second time.
The big guy is ready to come back with a 1-2 pitch, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! He's done it! Randy Johnson has just struck out his 11th man. An amazing performance by the big unit.
It never fails. I tear up when I hear Dave. Randy Johnson, the big unit, will be honored tomorrow night as the Mariners take on the Kansas City Royals. Series begins tonight at 6:45, and you can catch the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
It reminds me, we have the Rick Riz show coming up today.
do.
Is that at 8:35, producer
Yeah,
David?
8:35 today. Rick's got an appointment, but he's still going to join us.
Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to that. It was a record-setting night in the NBA playoffs. Here's CBS's Steve Kathan.
It was over early in Atlanta.
Anunoby on the drive, goes inside, counted, and a foul. He is relentless.
On ESPN, the Knicks surged to a double-digit lead over the Hawks.
Knicks just keep pouring it on. Brunson throws it up, and Bridges throws it down.
New York had a 47-point lead at halftime, the largest in playoff history. Their 40-15 lead at the end of the first quarter was the largest in the shot clock era. When it ended,
in a game they led by as many as 61, they win by 51.
140-89 the final as the Knicks eliminated Atlanta 4-2. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Just quickly, as long as we're talking about sports, Everett Silvertip's coach has been named Coach of the Year for this season.
Yeah, what a team this season. All right, 6:53, we head over to Sully for traffic.
Yeah, we still are working with this crash on MLK in South Alaska in South Seattle as we're dealing with a couple of cars got tangled up. Well, one of them ended up on the light rail tracks, and so because of that, light rail service, one line service is being suspended right now between Mount Baker and Othello. Still rolling everywhere else. They've got all the cars righted. Now they're trying to inspect the tracks to make sure everything's okay before they can start trains again. But if you're driving, it's impacting both directions. If you're waiting for a train, you might have to take a bus bridge for the next little bit. Looking at the other issue we have, SR 900, very slow getting past Cougar Mountain, Squawk Mountain there as you make your way into Issaquah. We've been working with a crash in the eastbound direction of SR 900 there for most of the morning. Rest of the map, not too bad. We're looking at Renton to Bellevue at about 22 minutes. The Valley Freeway's about 40. Under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle. Brake lights there past the West Seattle Bridge, but they're manageable. Coming down from the north end, a little westbound slowing across the trestle, but more yellow than red. And then really not too bad drives from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Both of those are under 40. And for those of you, especially all of our good truck driving friends who normally take westbound 18 from I-90 to get down into the valley, can't do it. We have construction. A 4-day window of good weather opened up last night, and westbound 18 is closed from I-90 to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. It's going to be that way till Monday. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Sun and clouds and 71 today, 73 tomorrow, and by Sunday, sunshine and 81. It's 55 right now in Seattle.
Coming up, we have team coverage of the stabbing that took place at Foss High School in Tacoma yesterday. That's on the way with KIRO News Radio's James Lynch and Corwin Hake.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the waist, swing, and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the big unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
The action is fierce, the energy is over the top, and it's a night you don't want to miss. It's Excite Fight Live MMA at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Saturday, May 23rd at 7 p.m. See a full night of incredible combat when MMA fighters face off in the cage and turn the excitement all the way up. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Golden Crest Metals helps investors understand how physical gold and silver can be held inside qualified retirement accounts without pressure or confusion. Our team brings decades of experience in precious metals and retirement planning with a focus on clear education, straightforward pricing, and a process designed to put clients first. Why do investors choose Golden Crest Metals? Experience, transparency, and a client-first approach. Tune into The Gold Show with Kenny Michaels every Saturday at 1 p.m.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
You can't control what's happening in the world. You can't control gas prices or what the market does tomorrow. But you can control whether your retirement is protected when the unexpected hits. That's what Rajiv Nagaich has dedicated his career to helping families do. Not just picking investments, but building one plan that brings your healthcare, housing, legal, and financial decisions together into a single strategy. A strategy designed to keep you out of a nursing home, protect your assets, and keep your family from becoming your unpaid caregivers. If the last weeks have made you uneasy about your future, you need help. Join Rajiv at a free 90-minute seminar this May. You'll see where most plans fall short and how yours doesn't have to.
Register for a free LifePoint Law Retirement Planning Seminar in Puyallup on May 5th, Federal Way on May 6th, Bellevue on May 7th, or Linwood on May 12th. Seminars begin at 6:30 p.m. Space is limited, so sign up at lifepointlaw.com. That's lifepointlaw.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Breaking news on the war front. We've just learned Iran has revised an offer for a second round of peace talks after the Trump administration rejected the last one, which would have delayed negotiations. Correspondent Olivia Rinaldi.
We don't have the details yet of what is in this proposal, but we do know it was delivered to the U.S. side last night, April 30th. And we also don't have a U.S. response at this moment.
Today marks the 60th day of war, a deadline that requires a vote in Congress to continue the fight.
We're already starting to see some support fracture on Capitol Hill from Republicans who feel that this White House needs to get their approval, especially as the conflict is becoming very expensive, by some estimates up to $50 billion spent so far.
The president insisting again today the U.S. has already won the war. Gas prices are up another 9 cents to a national average of $4.39 a gallon. A lot of drivers have had it.
Protesters in front of a speedway station in Warren, Michigan are holding signs that read, MAGA, Make American Gas Affordable. Jill Murphy organized the protest.
I have family members who are ill, and I can't go visit them across the state or up north because it's too expensive right now to drive.
Joel Rutherford is retired and doesn't drive as much, but he's still feeling the impact.
Gas prices don't affect just gas prices. It's also the price of groceries. It's the price of just everything that's in the economy.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Minneapolis Fed President Neil Kashkari warning new interest rate hikes could be needed if price shocks from the war are bigger than expected. Tragedy in Texas Hill Country. A Hays County official says a small plane crashed southwest of Austin last night, killing all 5 people on board. No word yet on what went wrong, but Judge Ruben Becerra says the Cessna 421C was traveling at a high rate of speed. The victims' names have not been released yet. New report says Jeffrey Epstein left a suicide note that's been locked up in a New York courthouse for almost 7 years. CBS's Anna Schechter.
Nicholas Tartaglione, the cellmate of Epstein, told the New York Times that it was ripped from a yellow legal page, tucked inside a graphic novel, and on it said, "Time to say goodbye."
Officials ruled Epstein's death in 2019 a suicide. Bring hot food to the office in a thermos. Heads up from CBS's Carissa Lawson.
Thermos is recalling more than 8 million stainless King food jars and Sportsman food and beverage bottles. Thermos says it's received at least 27 complaints of the product's stoppers forcibly ejecting and causing lacerations and other injuries.
This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Gail came in singing for me today. On CBS Mornings.
7:03 now, Friday morning. Let's check in with Sully.
And we have a couple things brewing, but overall it's Friday light across most of our freeways. If you're coming or driving in and around South Seattle and MLK, right around Alaska, we have a crash involving a couple of different cars that one of them ended up on the light rail tracks. And so both directions of MLK are kind of blocked in that general vicinity. Big response. The cars are righted, but it's also impacted the one-line light rail service. It's suspended now between Mount Baker and Othello. You might have to catch a bus bridge for the next little bit. Trains are running just fine around that on either side, but just keep that in mind. The other issue, we're looking at very heavy braking on SR 900 right around Tibbetts Creek. Whatever we're dealing with there looks to maybe have gotten a little bit better because the backup is getting better as well. Rented to Bellevue, not bad, 25 minutes for you. Some definite spillover, though, on the Valley Freeway. Over 20 minutes out of Auburn and a little over 40 all the way from Puyallup. Better way to Seattle, about 40 minutes, also about 40 from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And as I get on my soapbox just briefly, from the Department of Transportation in Tacoma, reason number 3,457 to secure your load.
Oh, no.
Flatbed semi lost several of its utility lids in the southbound lanes of I-5 right around 72nd in South Tacona. Boy. Almost up to a dozen vehicles may have flat tires from hitting the debris in the roadway.
No.
So secure your loads, people. Okay, who's this traffic report brought to you by? Me! KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's now 7:05. Classes canceled today at Tacoma's Foss High School while police continue sorting out yesterday's mass stabbing on campus.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch was there as reports of multiple injuries sent parents rushing to the scene.
Witnesses tell KIRO News Radio the stabbings were the result of an argument over a vape battery, although police have not yet confirmed. 5 students, including the suspect, were injured along with a security guard. The extent of the injuries is unknown, but they are not life-threatening. Mom, Diana Corbin, is relieved.
It's very stressful, and you feel kind of helpless.
Police say the suspect was taken into custody. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And I'm Corwin Hake live. The victims of the Foss High School stabbing are now in stable condition, and police say the suspect in custody faces 5 counts of first-degree assault. As for what led up to this incident, police say it is still under investigation. But cell phone video taken inside the school prior to the stabbing shows several students involved in a wild fistfight. One witness tells KIRO News Radio the fight and presumably the stabbing that followed was over a vape pen battery. This parent worries about the effect on the student body.
Very traumatizing for them, and the fact that this is going on inside of their school where they're supposed to be safe, where all the kids are supposed to be safe, it's not okay.
Longtime members of the Foss community may recall a much more traumatizing incident. Back in January 2007, 17-year-old student Sam Nangkok lost his life, fatally shot by another student in a school hallway. Back here in the present, the Foss website says classes resume Monday morning, with counselors available to students and staff all next week. Reporting live, Corwin Hake, KIRO News Radio.
And Corwin, again, the headline there is that all of the people involved are in stable condition.
Well, there you go. We had that death 20 years ago. Terrible for the community. Everyone in this case, stable.
7:07 now here on Seattle's Morning News.
Thousands of people are expected to join a May Day rally in March starting at noon today on Capitol Hill. Sylvia Gonzalez, community organizer with Casa Latina, says they want to take a stand against federal immigration crackdowns.
This is the moment we need to go outside and say something. We are here. The immigrants are here.
The rally begins at Cal Anderson Park, followed by a 2-mile march. Organizers are not discussing the march route because of safety concerns. Additional rallies are planned across the state.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Well, glad to have you with us on this Friday. It's May 1st.
We've made it. That is Manda Factor. I'm Charlie Harger. Sully is bopping away, bringing us traffic reports brought to us by who, Sully?
Me!
You don't have to be so angry about it.
Well, if you don't secure your load, I get a little,
Yeah,
little
come on.
feisty.
Not pretty.
What a bummer of a way to start off your Friday morning. 20 plus cars.
12. As
12.
many as 12 has
As many
some
as 12.
damage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it wasn't blocking any, but again, just a little reminder, keep, secure your load, especially if you're driving a flatbed semi.
Right?
Yeah, you should know better.
Yeah.
All right. Nick Kreisha is running the board, picking the tunes. David Burbank, our producer, out in the newsroom. Frank Summerall is running mynorthwest.com right now. We also have John Repp and Corwin Hake.
Big plans for the weekend?
A lot of youth baseball. How about you?
A lot of people are going to see grown-up baseball, too. Mariners back in action this weekend. Tomorrow night, the team will retire the number 51 for the second time.
The big guy is ready to come back with a 1-2 pitch and a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He's done it. Randy Johnson has just struck out his 11th man. An amazing performance by the big unit.
I could listen to Dave all day.
Yeah, you can.
Randy Johnson, the big unit, will be honored tomorrow night as the Mariners take on the Kansas City Royals. That series begins tonight at 6:45, and you can catch all the action on 710 Seattle Sports.
We're about 6 minutes away from checking in with Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy as gas prices hit a historic high in Washington State this week. We'll talk about what's going into that coming up at 7:15.
What's coming up in your commentary?
Why did prior arrest mean so little in our state? It cost someone her life. I'll explore it at 7:35.
It's now 7:10. Prosecutors have charged a Seattle man in a violent attack on a 77-year-old in downtown Seattle. Prosecutors say 29-year-old Ahmed Osman was charged with felony assault for the attack. It happened near 3rd and Pike shortly before midnight, April 19th. Charging documents say the victim was knocked to the ground at random and suffered a broken arm, knee, and gash on his forehead.
When you break a bone as a young person, it hurts and it takes a long time to recover. When you're 77, even in great shape, it's a lot harder.
Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecutor's Office says they're asking bail be set at $200,000. Police are still looking for a second suspect.
Student group at the UW accusing the university of escalating efforts to silence protesters. According to the Seattle Times, a group called Institutional Climate Action is reacting after one of its members was arrested at a Turning Point USA event Wednesday. University says a student wouldn't stop banging a drum even after multiple warnings, drumming so loud the speaker couldn't be heard. Student arrested for disorderly conduct. Turning Point's campus chapter says more than 500 students came out for the event on the Hub lawn.
There is some new information on Wednesday's bomb scare near the Capitol State Forest.
The State Patrol's bomb squad removed and safely disposed of what turned out to be an active pipe bomb near an Olympia home along Waddell Creek Road. Thurston County Public Works crews found it while picking up trash. It was 11 inches by 2 inches and wrapped in multiple layers of duct tape. Homes in the area were evacuated while the bomb squad did its work. Frank Lindsay, KIRO Newsradio.
State crews are taking to the skies to attack an invasive threat. Spongy moth treatments are set to begin next week in parts of King and Pierce counties. The Department of Agriculture says low-flying planes will spray hundreds of acres near Lakewood and Lake Youngs using a natural bacteria that targets the species. Spongy moth caterpillars can strip trees bare, killing forests, damaging parks, costing millions to control once they spread.
President Trump says he has no problem with Iran playing in this summer's World Cup, including a match scheduled for here in Seattle. Speaking from the Oval Office yesterday, the president said he's on board with FIFA president Gianni Infantino.
You know what? Let him play well. Johnny's fantastic. He's a friend of mine, and he talked about it. I said, you do whatever you want.
Infantino reiterated yesterday Iran will play its matches in the U.S. Despite the Middle East conflict and the country's human rights record, Iran faces Egypt at Lumen Field on June 26th.
Delta says it wants to make sure you won't miss the big game, even at 35,000 feet. The airline announced yesterday it's partnering with Fox One to bring live streaming on board through Delta Sync Wi-Fi. According to the Puget Sound Business Journal, SkyMiles members get free 24-hour access to the platform on their own devices. It means live sports, news, entertainment right at your seat. Timing lines up nicely with the World Cup kicking off next Wednesday. 6 matches set to be played right here in Seattle.
It's 7:12. That's time for a check on the weather. A mix of clouds and sun for today, warming up to about 71. Just beautiful as we wrap up the week. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 73. How about 81 on Sunday and on Monday? 2 toasty days, and then we'll cool off back to the low 70s on Tuesday, but still lots of sunshine. Right now in Seattle, it's 55.
7:13 now. Let's get a check on traffic. Sully is here with the update.
And I'm watching the Seattle Department of Transportation crews doing their last little bit, cleaning and making sure the tracks are okay right there at MLK and South Alaska Street in South Seattle. We had a crash involving a couple of cars. One of the cars ended up on its top in between the light rail lines, and right now that's why the one-line service has been suspended between the Mount Baker Tunnel and Othello. As they zoom in here, there is some pretty significant damage to the light rail station, or kind of the area there, the junction boxes around it. So I'm not sure when they're going to be able to get trains through there again, but it looks like the tracks are close to clear and most of the roadway has reopened. Looking at the rest of the map, it is Friday light, certainly. We are looking at a Federal Way to Seattle of under 45 minutes, probably closer to 40. The heaviest spot there is through the Weaving and merging, that is, at the Michigan Curve. Renton to Bellevue is about 20 minutes. The S-curves are active, but by the time you're up to SR 900, not too bad. And then we're looking at the Valley Freeway behind it of about 40 minutes. Olympia to Tacoma, not too bad either. We're looking at Lake Bridges at fine. Coming down from the north end, under 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And we continue to work with the construction closure of westbound 18 from I-90 to the Issaquah Hobart Road over Tiger Mountain. It's going to be that way all weekend long. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Seattle's morning news. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
Well, today's the deadline for the Trump administration to get congressional approval for the Iran war. News Nation's Robert Sherman reports from Tel Aviv.
This is the point in which the administration is expected to either make their pitch to Congress to extend the operations or to wind them down. The Pentagon making the argument that with the ceasefire that is in effect, war powers resolution and the strict 60-day deadline is not applicable. The Pentagon has said that this has so far cost taxpayers $25 billion, but Iran says that price tag is much higher.
It's now 7:15. Well, everything is coming up Prada today.
That sweater is not just blue, it's not turquoise, it's not lapis, it's actually cerulean.
The Devil Wears Prada sequel debuts today, and so do a slew of commercial tie-ins. Hershey offers cerulean blue M&Ms. Starbucks has 4 new coffees inspired by Miranda and the Gang. Theaters are selling look-alike red Prada handbag popcorn buckets. Coca-Cola limited edition slim Diet Coke cans with ads set in the movie's runway offices. Plus, a couple of stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame were Stanley Tucci and sister-in-law Emily Blunt.
So honored to share it with the Tooch.
He met his future wife Felicity Blunt while they were filming the original. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Tooch. The consensus from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, it's a sinfully enjoyable sequel.
Okay. I haven't seen the first one. So it's hard to tell.
It's kind of
no,
chick flick, huh?
yeah, it's not. I'm not the target demo for that.
No. Let's talk about gas prices.
Yeah.
I know that makes your blood boil.
It does. They have reached a record high in Seattle. There are no signs of it slowing down.
Let's chat with Patrick DeHaan. He's head of petroleum analysis at Gas Buddy. Patrick, good morning. Happy Friday. You've been doing this for more than 20 years. Where does this rank in terms of how fast prices have moved?
Well, certainly I'm towards the top 10 side of things here. As I'm getting a bottle of water, I don't know how many more of these conversations with prices can have. I almost coughed myself out the last interview I talked about this. And I'm trying to pull up Seattle to see exactly, you mentioned record high prices. Yeah, we are there now. Seattle at a new all-time record high. $5.79 a gallon this morning. By the way, that beats out the $5.70 a gallon we've seen in 2022. So not the type of thing you like to wake up and see. And, we've talked about how much uncertainty there is. I really hate to sit here and say there's still not any more certainty. In fact, 2 days ago, President Trump added more uncertainty to this by saying that, the blockade could continue for the next few weeks. So it seems like the two sides remain pretty far apart. And, unfortunately, in the interim, Americans are spending millions of dollars more on gasoline today in the next 24 hours. I estimate that the nation will be spending roughly $550 million more on gasoline than we did to begin the month of March. So these are costs that are really starting to add up. We're at $20 billion now over the last 60 days in terms of additional costs. So, and we may continue to go up. I'm sure folks are probably sick of hearing about all the, things that I have to say because they're not necessarily good, but hopefully don't shoot the messenger.
Well, Patrick, let's get a little geeky here because there's a JP Morgan note. It's making the rounds right now. Says the world has 8.4 billion barrels of oil in storage, but only about 800 million of those are actually usable. They're calling it the illusion of plenty. Can you explain why we can have billions of barrels sitting in tanks and still have prices screaming higher?
Well, because they can drain rather rapidly. That's the difficulty here. Just in the last 7 days, government data out yesterday, and yes, I fully trust this data because I know a lot of the folks that put it together. Data released yesterday highlighted that in the last 7 days, we've exported just under 100 million barrels of oil and refined products. So a billion, you talk about 100 million, that would last about 7 weeks at paces that we're currently on. So a billion barrels sounds like a lot, right? But when the global economy consumes 100 million barrels every day, and when we're exporting 100 million barrels over 7 days, suddenly those billions of barrels don't really sound that significant.
Yeah. Patrick, that same analysis says commercial oil inventories, basically the supply the market can actually tap, could hit stress levels by early June. It's May 1st. Can you explain what this means? They call it the stress level.
Well, it's basically, it's like your bank account. When you always have at least $100 in your bank account and suddenly it drops to $50, you're suddenly thinking, oh man, you're scrambling for things on what to do. These oil numbers have been within a range over the last several years. And when that range starts to really drop considerably and substantially, and you can't really do much about it, the market tends to panic. That's not a good sign. And that's where these stress levels come in, is that these levels, oil inventories have always been above this. And because the U.S. is such a big consumer and producer, a billion barrels sounds like a lot. But in essence, that's measured in days, right? I think Tucker Carlson about 2 years ago had infamously said the U.S. has 22 days of diesel. That represents hundreds of millions of gallons. But if the system stopped working, that's where these stress levels come into consideration, is that if oil production stopped, if refining stopped, stress levels are just levels we haven't seen in a really long time, and they're extremely uncomfortable.
Patrick, you got my attention online this week because you called the diesel market, I'm quoting you here, completely unhinged. Why is that?
Well, not just the diesel market, but looking at gasoline markets too, and specifically about the Great Lakes, because prices in Indiana, by the way, over the last, a period 2 days ago, in 4 hours, motorists saw gas prices literally climbing over $1 a gallon. Unhinged, chaotic behavior. I don't know that motorists have ever seen $1 a gallon increase in the time they took lunch and then the time they went home from work. That's unhinged. The markets are telling you there's a lot going on here. Things are bending and breaking in the background. And how you can tell that is by literally going outside and all of a sudden seeing the price of gasoline up $1 a gallon.
I'm not liking your tone today, Patrick.
You and I both,
Is there one thing in particular you're looking for right now that will tell you whether or not this is going to get worse or better?
Well, as I mentioned a couple days ago, President Trump seems to be digging in his boots in terms of thinking that the blockage is working, and it may be ratcheting up pressure on Iran. But my worry is that both sides, the U.S. and Iran, may be overestimating their position. Iran is looking at U.S. gas prices thinking, man, President Trump's going to have to do something to stop increasing gas prices. And President Trump is saying, well, look at Iran. They're running out of storage room to fill their tanks. I don't have to do anything yet. I just have to wait them out. And Iran is saying, I just have to wait the U.S. out. So we're kind of in this de facto staring contest of who's going to blink first. And that's worrisome as an analyst. It's like, let's wait until everything just absolutely implodes and then let's figure it out. So, I come on with this pessimistic tone. It's because 8 weeks in, we still don't have any resolution to this.
So the interesting thing I was reading this week was inventories expected to hit their absolute floor if the strait remains closed through September, which we can't rule out. At that point, what kind of gas prices are we talking about if basically we've been closed for 5-6 months at that point?
You ask me questions you probably don't want to hear the answers to. I'm not part of this. It could get even uglier. I mean, the one thing that I'm approaching with this is you hear a lot of those apocalyptic numbers, right? You go on TikTok and people are saying, 10, 20, whatever. And a lot of that, of course, is hyperbole. But I think the reality is if the strait remains closed still for another, several months, we're going to continue to tiptoe higher. And by the end of that 6 months, who knows? I mean, Seattle could be at $7 or $8. It probably wouldn't go to $10 because most Americans would say, all right, I'm going to sit at home and park. And as you get towards $7 and $8, more consumers are throwing in the towel, parking their car. They're only doing what's minimally necessary. Employers are going to say you can work from home. So, you get to some of those really lofty numbers and Americans just throw in the towel, and that throwing in the towel is what's going to eventually stop prices from increasing. When most Americans are not driving anymore, that is the threshold where prices stop going up.
Patrick, can you take a break and enjoy the sunshine over the weekend?
Is there a lot of sunshine? I guess so. Let me crawl out of my cave.
Patrick DeHaan, GasBuddy.com. Patrick, thanks for your time this morning. We'll check in with you next week.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. Right now, we need to check traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. And here's Sully.
I'm on a slow boil.
Uh-oh.
Right now. Going back, a little bit more information on a secured load story we told you about at the top of the hour. It looks like a contractor flatbed lost some stuff. As many as 18 vehicles may have struck debris lost by this commercial vehicle on southbound I-5 right around 72nd. The driver was cited for an unsecured load and then placed out of service. So that means the driver ain't going anywhere and hopefully not getting behind an 18-wheeler anytime soon. We're working to get more information on that. But again, up to 18 vehicles struck by debris or stuck the debris from this flatbed semi down the Seattle area. In the Tacoma area. Speaking of Seattle, light rail service has resumed again through the scene of our earlier crash near South Alaska and MLK. We just got to confirm that a train was not involved in this crash. Just a couple of cars got tangled there, and service for light rail has resumed. Still working with this crash on SR 900 between Cougar Mountain and Squawk Mountain as you try to make your way between East Renton Highlands and the Issaquah area. 18 remains closed in the westbound direction from I-90 down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road for construction. This report brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476. Download the KIRO Newsradio App. Listen to your favorite shows. Get the latest news and updates right to your phone.
Forecast calls for a high in the low to mid 70s today. A lot of sun this afternoon, sun tomorrow, and by Sunday and Monday, sunny and highs in the low 80s. Right now in Seattle, it's 51.
Stay with us for the 7:35 commentary, and KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake has more on the frightening stabbing that happened at Foss High School in Tacoma.
Well, mornings fall apart when closets don't work, the pantry's jammed, the garage useless. Most homes were never designed for real life. Word here for Closets by Design is not just closets, it's garages, pantries, laundry rooms, home offices, wall beds, all custom built in Kent. Nothing off a shelf, everything finally has a place. For a limited time, it's 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to get your project started today.
This hour is brought to you by CM Heating.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the Big Unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO Newsradio.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, we've got you covered.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:30. The suspect being held after a stabbing incident at Tacoma's Foss High School now faces multiple assault charges.
That's what police are saying after yesterday's wild events on campus. Let's get the update live now from KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake.
Foss High School remains closed today, and after-school activities are canceled after 6 people were hospitalized following the early afternoon stabbing.
One was a suspect, one was a security guard, the other 4 were students.
Shelby Boyd with Tacoma PD. The News Tribune reports as of 4 yesterday afternoon, all victims were in stable condition. And police now say the suspect faces 5 counts of first-degree assault. Now, we still don't know what led up to this stabbing, and police are not saying much about it at all, including what kind of weapon was used here. KIRO 7 News obtained cell phone video taken inside the school. It shows there was a brawl in a school hallway that may have led up to this stabbing. School now reopens Monday, and according to the Foss website, there will be crisis counselors on hand to deal with students and even staff who might be struggling with this issue. Charlie and
Had to be just absolutely terrifying for
Chaos.
those kids. All right. Corwin Hake reporting live at 7:31.
Well, Seattle police are investigating a stabbing that happened overnight in Lake City that left a man critically hurt. Detectives say they got a call about 2:30 this morning after a fight outside a bar. A 26-year-old man had multiple stab wounds to the torso and leg, and the suspect took off before police arrived.
Seattle City Council members announced plans for a new data center moratorium. 2 developers say they are withdrawing plans to build large-scale facilities that would utilize Seattle's power grid. Seattle Times reports that out of the 4 companies who initially asked about building large data centers, 2 of them have had a change of heart. One of them, Tequila-based Sabi, says the project is no longer viable. Initial news that the city was drafting new terms to govern large-scale data centers prompted fierce public backlash, including more than 50,000 irate messages to Mayor Katie Wilson's office.
Seattle Children's is interested in revisiting a decades-old policy that requires some medical helicopters to land about a mile away from the hospital on the UW campus. KIRO 7's Brandon Thompson says the agreement applies to non-critical patient transportation.
Now, the hospital says a memorandum of understanding with them, the city of Seattle, and the Laurelhurst neighborhood just to the south mandates the helicopters land at UW. It was created in 1992 out of concern of noise over the lakefront community. Seattle Children's says, quote, ongoing efforts by some to restrict helipad access put an unnecessary burden on the system, and quote, we are eager to revisit the voluntary agreement Children's has been operating under.
The head of the Laurelhurst Community Council tells KIRO 7 they are open to meeting.
7:33 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the 3s.
And we're starting to see some volumes build just a little bit here and there. If you're on the I-5 northbound corridor, we're definitely seeing a little bit more action past the West Seattle Bridge, and really before that to the top end of the Michigan curve. Give yourself about 42 minutes to make it from Federal Way to Seattle, so not terrible. Valley Freeway's not bad, 40 minutes to run the length there. Renton to Bellevue, about 25. Still dealing with very heavy braking in both directions of SR 900, kind of by the Cougar Mountain climbing wall there, kind of between Cougar Mountain, Squawk Mountain there, getting into Issaquah. We've been working with a crash there all morning. Still don't have very much information. DOT hasn't confirmed anything. Coming down from the north end, over 40 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue for 405. It's right there south of Canyon Park, really, down through 522. For I-5, it's right around Northgate from about 130th on up. And we're looking at Olympia to Tacoma. Not bad at all in about 35 minutes. This report brought to you by the Puyallup RV Show. The Puyallup RV Show now through Sunday. Shop hundreds of new and used RVs, manufactured homes, get new show-only prices, also free parking. Tickets, PuyallupRVShow.com.
Well, the sun is shining. It's going to be a lovely stretch of weather here. 71 with a mix of clouds and sun today. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, 73, 81 the expected high now on Sunday, and Monday as well with lots of sunshine. Will be partly sunny on Tuesday. If 80s is not your thing, we'll cool down to the low 70s by Tuesday. Right now, sunny and 54 in Seattle.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Time for the 7:35 commentary. I thought police couldn't chase me if I drove recklessly. That's what Nicole Romanoff told deputies after they caught her down the road from a wreck she caused in Thurston County on September 7th, 2024. Romanoff had been arrested 47 times before that day. 47. And on that morning, she got behind the wheel of a stolen truck. She was still convinced Washington couldn't stop her. And for most of the 3 years before that crash, she was right. Romanoff spent that day driving a stolen truck through a Lacey neighborhood, asking homeowners for fentanyl. When one refused, she tried to run him over. He retreated behind a tree to survive. Deputies spotted her on the highway, passing cars in a no-pass zone at excessive speeds, blowing through red lights. They couldn't keep up. She drove head-on into the car that Gina Munna was riding in. Gina was a passenger in a car on a Thurston County road when Nicole Romanoff's mistaken confidence in Washington's no-pursuit culture killed her. This week, Romanoff pleaded guilty to murder. Judge Christine Schaller rejected the prosecution's recommended range of 16 to 20 years and sentenced her to approximately 23 years. It was the right call. But the story doesn't start with the crash. In 2021, the state legislature gutted the state's police pursuit authority. Before that, officers needed only reasonable suspicion to initiate a chase. The new law raised the bar so high, it effectively ended pursuits for the vast majority of crimes. Governor Inslee signed it. The results, well, they were immediate. The State Patrol logged nearly 8,000 incidents of drivers refusing to stop for troopers. Car theft records shattered. Suspects simply drove away. Romanoff was paying attention. The legislature made a partial fix in 2023, but it took a voter-driven initiative to finish the job. I-2113 passed and took effect June 6 of 2024. And 93 days later, Nicole Romanoff killed Gina Manda. 3 years of street knowledge doesn't reset on a date. At the time of the crash, Romanoff had 47 prior arrests, 4 felony convictions, 25 misdemeanor convictions, 3 active warrants, a suspended license, a serious drug problem that Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders says was likely driving all of it. Sanders didn't mince words after this week's sentencing. He said Nicole would not be facing a 23-year murder sentence and Gina would still be alive if Nicole's underlying problems had been resolved in a secure facility sometime during her first 47 arrests. Continuing to release her back into society, he said, set no one up for success. Not her, not her victims, not the officers trying to manage the damage. And then Sanders asked a question our system has been ducking for years. At what point do we acknowledge that the safest place for the small percentage of people who cannot function in society without hurting others is a secure facility where treatment is ready and waiting? 47 chances. Nobody answered that question in time for Gina Manda. Now, I've spent time on this program calling out judges who treat dangerous people like a problem to be managed rather than stopped. This sentencing is different. Judge Schaller understood that some cases exceed the formula. Gina Manda deserved a system that stopped Nicole Romanoff long before September 7th, 2024. She deserved lawmakers who understood that no pursuit policies have consequences. She deserves someone along the way who looked at Romanoff's record and said, enough. She got a judge who finally did. 47 chances too late. That's the 7:35 commentary for Friday, May 1st, 2026. You can text your thoughts to the Muckleshoot Casino and Resort text line, 888-973-5476. Join the chat on our YouTube Live at KIRO Newsradio or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
It's now 7:39. A prison inmate was mistakenly released last week, but his freedom didn't last long.
The same day, the 52-year-old who was serving time for a 2014 burglary at a Kitsap County firearms dealer and for his involvement in an officer-involved shooting in Jefferson County while trying to get away from police was picked up on April 22nd, the same day he got out.
Hands out! Hands up!
According to the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office, the Department of Corrections said he had claimed that he would shoot it out with law enforcement if they tried to arrest him. Well, that did not happen when they surrounded him in Bremerton. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Starting tonight, curfew being enforced at Seattle's Golden Gardens Park to help deter crime. Here's KIRO 7's Lindsay Sheldon.
Now until the end of September, the park is open from 4 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. And to help enforce the closing time, a private security guard has been hired to patrol overnight, and they'll contact Seattle police if they suspect anything illegal.
Lindsay reminds us we're expecting temperatures in the 80-degree range over the weekend, and that means you may be looking to cool off in a lake or stream. She says the water is still a lot chillier than you might think.
The National Weather Service says cold shock can happen in 50 to 60-degree water. When you hit that cold water, you'll start to gasp, which increases the chance of water getting into your lungs. Your ability to hold your breath also gets cut by 66%, and nerves and muscles in your arms and legs start to lose function within a few minutes.
Safety experts say if you go go out into the water, wear a life vest, and keep a close eye on children.
Well, Legion Sports Bar in Bellevue has closed its doors. The bar, created by former Seahawks Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman, opened in Lincoln Square in 2023. In an Instagram post, the bar announced it was shutting down to focus on its efforts at Lumen Field, where it has concessions in the club level.
Seattle readers love their e-books. The Seattle Public Library says visitors logged more than 7.2 million checkouts of digital materials last year. That means the library ranks 10th in the world for the number of digital books checked out. The Seattle Times reports the library system also hosted more than 3.4 million in-person visits last year, the most ever.
I love using the Libby app, and there's another app I use as well. You get the not only the ebooks, you get audiobooks for free. And anybody can sign up for a Seattle Public Library card, too. You don't have to live in the city.
That's right. 7:41 now. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the building volumes across the board and still trying to find out more information on this crash on the SR 900 corridor getting up into Issaquah. We'll break it down next.
The John Curley Show.
I can't wait till I get a little older, be the really crotchety old guy, getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
7:43 now. Chris Sullivan is at the traffic desk.
And I'm looking for a crash on northbound I-5 near the top of the Boeing Field area, working your way towards the Michigan curve. I don't see any lanes blocked. I just checked the cams there, and it does have one of the far right lanes, one of the, the variable speed signs has got a caution in the far right lane, but not like a lane closed. But just be prepared. There's a little bit of braking there. Give yourself over 40 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. A little over 40 as well from Puyallup up into Renton. Renton to Bellevue is running right around 25 minutes. Still working with this crash, or maybe it seems to have resolved itself right there on SR 900 in the northbound or eastbound direction by Tibbetts Creek. But we're backed up pretty heavily coming out of the East Renton Highlands. Anyway, westbound 18 continues to be closed from I-90 across Tiger Mountain down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. That's for construction. It will wrap up on Monday morning, so this is a full weekend deal for you guys. Looking at some slowing in both directions of 512, westbound approaching I-5. For eastbound, it's kind of down the hill into Puyallup. By the way, just got an update from our good friend John Repp out in the newsroom. He was talking to the State Patrol about our secured load issue that led to up to as many of 18 vehicles being impacted. 3 large manhole covers is what these were that came off.
Fell off a truck?
Fell off a semi-truck. Manhole covers.
So the cars that are damaged are pretty heavy.
Potentially, and thank gosh we're not dealing with something else.
Yeah, that could be deadly.
So the driver was cited. An inspection led to that driver being put out of service.
I think you can say thank God in that circumstance.
So again, that's what's happening. This was right around 72nd on southbound I-5, so you might still see a little bit of action there. As many as 18 vehicles maybe kind of damaged in some particular way, but wow. Manhole covers. Okay. Across the lake, we're still doing really well. Coming down from the north end, we do have heavy braking here and there in the usual places. Give yourself about 45 minutes now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Well, beautiful weather as we wrap up the week. We're going to hit a high of 71 for today. Mix of sun and clouds. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 73. Sunshine for Sunday and Monday. Warmer, up around 81. We'll cool off on Tuesday to the low 70s. Right now in Seattle, we have sun shining. It's 54 degrees.
Coming up, G. Scott stops by. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson gave a pretty definitive statement to millionaires looking to leave the city. Bye. And G has some thoughts. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
Remember when you used to wake up ready to take on the world? Lately, maybe not so much. The brain fog, the exhaustion, that feeling like you're just not you anymore. Well, it's not your imagination, and you don't have to keep pushing through it. At Juvacor Health and Wellness Center, hormone replacement therapy starts with something you're not going to find online. A real conversation, face-to-face, with a female provider who genuinely gets it. Led by Dr. Lucy Hostetter. You're going to love her, a board-certified physician. Her team has spent the last 7 years specializing in just one thing, helping women feel like themselves again. It's their focus. It's what they do. Your care is driven by labs, by listening, and by a personalized treatment plan that's dialed into your body and your life, and they follow up. This kind of care has to be personal. With convenient locations now in both Tacoma and Bellevue, Dr. Hostetter's practice expanded from the flagship location, Seattle Regenerative Medicine Center in Bellevue, to Tacoma. You deserve a provider who makes the uncomfortable conversations comfortable. Reach out today at juvacorehealth.com. That's Juve corehealth.com and feel like yourself again.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
There are 6 markets you can place your money in. Research suggests it's better to have exposure to all 6 markets. Don't miss a potential opportunity because you didn't strategically diversify your assets. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Request your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing in your portfolio. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
Well, it's Friday, and our 7:45 audience always gets a treat when G. Scott stops by the studio a little early ahead of the G and Ursula show, 9 to noon weekdays here on KIRO Newsradio.
You're looking particularly blingy today.
Oh, am I?
Very nice.
Bling? Thank you.
Yeah.
I showered.
Dapper, I know. I can tell.
Okay, so first I want to, so I can make sure I laugh and try to set the room up because I want to make sure we're all comfortable. Okay?
I'm comfortable. I'm sitting down.
I don't want to leave here and you guys be like, oh, there's that G again. Because for some reason, folks like me, I was like, is he angry? Oh, that's another story. Mayor Katie Wilson was at a Seattle U event, April 14th. And she was asked about millionaires leaving over the new tax. Her answer, go ahead.
I think the claims that millionaires are going to leave our state are like super overblown, and if the ones that leave, like bye. That's another story. I mean, speaking, I'm trying. This is the same mayor who, before she took office officially, joined the picket line and said, I'm not buying Starbucks and you should not either. Now, coincidentally, not saying it was because of her, but now Starbucks has taken $100 million and 2,000 jobs over to Nashville. And Seattle right now, according to what she said in this same event, right now Seattle is staring down a structural budget deficit that even she brings up. And so what I want to talk about is like, here's my opinion on her saying bye to millionaires. If she were a radio host, let's say she was G. Scott in the morning, yeah, I can say that. You can say you don't like him, and that's just his opinion. Hot take, all that stuff. You see, but there's a difference between campaigning and leading. It's 2 different things. Campaigning is when you have a microphone and you stand there in front of a bunch of people that love you. Leading is when you stand there and you're talking to people that love you and you're talking to people that don't love you. But that's what a leader does. And we are living in a social media influencer society. We are leading with the rah-rah type of deal. Look, listen, even if I agree with some of these politicians, this arrogance that's popping out with some of these folks, and by the way, I could get deep and tell you where some of this stuff comes from, but I don't want to do that right now because I'll take it away. We live in an influencer society where anybody with a damn phone and a hot take can try to have and actually has impact on the world. We're moving into we're the city and this is happening like this and you're saying bye to the millionaires. Now, that might be true. Millionaires might be leaving. Millionaires might not be leaving. Who knows? Let so-and-so and Billy talk about that at the coffee machine. But you, as a mayor, you're proving people right who don't think you can lead. So this message isn't just for Katie Wilson. This is for the Senator Jamie Peterson. This goes for all of these damn politicians. Remember one thing. The chair that you're sitting in, that's a borrowed chair. That's not yours. That chair belongs to the people. Who are the people? The people are the millionaires. The people are the unhoused. The people are the folks that love you. The people are the folks that don't love you. The people are the folks that voted for you. The people are the folks that didn't vote for you. We need leaders to stand up. And this right here, as the mayor of Seattle, awful. Now, if you really want to be honest with you, do I think this was going to happen? Yeah. We saw it right in the beginning when she told people not to drink Starbucks. That's not a damn mayor. That is not a mayor. So it is just disappointing to see this. And the crazy last thing I want to say on this is the craziest part. A lot of the people that make my skin crawl right now are people that I actually agree with on a lot of things. Think about that for a second. You so arrogant. I believe in what you're saying. It's like going to the car dealership. You want to buy the car. You got the money. You got the credit. You got everything. But the damn salesman is a jerk. And you were like, you know what? I'm not buying none of this.
Do you think some of this started on June 16th of 2015?
Okay. All right. Yes. And yes, it did start then. However, what's happening right now, Charlie, is you have some folks who just admit it. And then you have some folks that hide it. You see, there's a lot of people that hid behind the word progressive. There's a lot of people that hid behind Black Lives Matters posters. There's a lot of people that's like, oh, I'm for DEI. I'm for all of those things. And when you rack them and stack them, some of them ain't really about that either. Some of them, they pretend. It sounds good. And they'll say whatever they can to campaign and just go ahead and get in office. Hence the reason why for a little while it was defund the police. I said it on my show then, I'll say it again. That was the dumbest thing in the world. But people were using that phrase because they thought that that would get them in office. They thought that that would get them more money on their platforms. So if you're hearing my frustration right now today, my frustration is I'm so sick and tired of some of y'all arrogant folks and, again, doing this whole peeing on folks' legs and telling them that it's rain.
That is what we call letting G cook.
Yeah, G, I think Manda's going to be scared to say it.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say thank you so much for spending time with us.
I'm out here. See ya.
Thanks, G. Let's head over to Sully for traffic.
And we are looking at about a 35-minute drive now to go from Linwood down into Bellevue, and about 30 from Linwood into Bellevue. So the brake lights there are a little heavier than a Friday light. Northbound I-5, they had somebody pulled over, according to our good friend Brian, there at the north end of Boeing Field, but not blocking. Under 40 from Federal Way to Seattle, 40 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue, about a half an hour, not too bad. Lake bridges are still fine. Westbound 18 remains blocked from I-90 over to the Issaquah-Hobart Road for construction. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Let's talk about something pleasant like the weather. Sunshine, 71 for today, 73 tomorrow and Sunday and Monday, up around to 81. Will cool off by Tuesday. Right now in Seattle, sunny and 54.
Speaking of pleasant, consumer man Herb Weisbaum will join us in the next hour, as will Rick Riz for the Rick Riz Show. It's all sunshine and puppies on the way.
Of course, it's Seattle's morning news here on KIRO Newsradio.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the run. bump of the old steer and burn her right in there.
It's the Big Units Big Weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO Newsradio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
The G and Ursula Show.
If you want to see what I'm wearing today, check out Mrs. Roper.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
A moo-moo is like a bank. You never know how much is in it.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealer with the largest selection of Subarus in Washington. With over 800 vehicles in stock, they have exactly what you're looking for with savings you'll love. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. New offer from Iran. CBS News White House correspondent Nancy Cordes.
All we know is that, according to Pakistani officials, this is a revised response from the Iranians to the latest U.S. amendments on the agreement to end the war. And those Pakistani officials have expressed some optimism that a deal may be closer than not.
Oil prices have fallen some, not so for gas prices. AAA says the average for a gallon of regular is now $4.39, up nearly a dime since yesterday. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi.
Americans are really feeling that squeeze here at home, given the fact that gas prices have been rising. But the president has been saying prices are going to come down, prices going to come down. But that's at odds with what people in his own administration have even said. His Secretary of Energy was on CNN a few weeks ago and said it's going to be until 2027 when we're going to start to see gas prices go below $3.
Well, President Trump has signed a bill funding much of the Department of Homeland Security, ending the longest agency shutdown in history. CBS's Nicole Killian.
Of course, you had Democrats who didn't want to provide any new funding for immigration enforcement, ICE, Border Patrol. They also wanted reforms, none of which they secured. But because of that, Republicans had to split off that funding for ICE and Border Patrol into a separate bill.
The New York Times reports Jeffrey Epstein wrote a possible suicide note discovered by a cellmate that's been kept secret for years, locked in a courthouse. The sex offender's death in 2019 was ruled a suicide. CBS's Anna Schechter.
The Department of Justice, they told us yesterday that they tried to pull in every bit of record, right? They compiled millions of pages of documents, and yet they're saying they never saw this note.
There's word California is giving Los Angeles wildfire victims a property tax break.
Many survivors of the Eaton and Palisades fires lost their homes but still own empty lots. The property taxes for which were due yesterday until the state agreed to defer those taxes until 2030. Joy Chen is with the Every Fire Survivors Network, which helped negotiate the deferment.
You just have a lot of fire survivors who are in financial hardship, and now is not the time for a balloon payment.
Damon Blount, who lost his home in the Eaton fire, says the deferment will help.
Get a little bit more money to throw towards the actual rebuild of the house.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Police outside Austin, Texas, say a small plane crashed last night, killing all 5 on board. For the second time this week, a scratch for tomorrow's Kentucky Derby. Right to party is out. Wall Street, the Dow is up 113 points. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
It's 8:03 Friday morning. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
And we are working with an okay drive. Our backups are about what you would expect. A little heavier maybe in a couple places, like if you're coming up I-5 northbound and you're working your way past the north end of Boeing Field. You had an earlier traffic stop there, and we're looking at about a 42 to 44-minute drive from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway, though, under 45, which is great. Rented to Bellevue, about a half an hour. Still seeing heavy slowing on eastbound SR 900 after an earlier crash near the Cougar Mountain, the Squaw Mountain area there near Tibbetts Creek. Rented to Bellevue, under a half an hour. If I didn't tell you that, the lake bridges are still fine. Coming down from the north end, about 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. 405 is probably a little heavier than I-5. We continue to work with the westbound closure of SR 18 as you work your way from I-90 down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. That is for construction. It's going to be that way all day, going to be that way all the way through the weekend as well. Oh, and just for good measure, we do have a crash at the top of Tiger Mountain in the eastbound direction. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Friday, May 1st, 2026 edition of Seattle's Morning News. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
We're going to get the latest on the stabbing incident at Foss High School in Tacoma in just a moment. But first, we have a pretty scary situation that happened on the roads.
Yeah, we're learning more about this incident on I-5. It snarled traffic on southbound 5 between 72nd Street and Highway 512 this morning. Troopers now say 3 large manhole covers flew off the truck and into traffic. They were hit by at least 18 different vehicles. Commercial vehicle inspectors arrived and placed the vehicle out of service. They cited the driver. Fortunately, no reports of injuries.
It's 8:05. Foss High School in Tacoma is closed today as police there continue to investigate a mass stabbing that injured 6, including the suspect, and a student is now in custody.
We start our team coverage with KIRO News Radio's James Lynch, who filed this report from the scene.
Tacoma police were called to Foss High School at about 1:40 for multiple stabbing victims. The suspect, a student, was among the injured, along with 4 other students and a security guard. The events that led to the stabbings are unknown, but Tacoma Police Officer Shelby Boyd says a team is on site to figure it all out.
Our officers are here, as well as our forensics unit, and they're just combing through the school, getting evidence, whether it be video, whether it be physical evidence that's left behind. So we also have witnesses that we're talking to, so we'll be here for a while.
Boyd says the suspect was taken into custody. Potential charges are unknown. In Tacoma, James Lynch, KIRO Newsradio.
And I'm Corwin Hake. Live, we now know a fight broke out inside Foss High School prior to the stabbing. Cell phone video taken inside the school shows a brawl in progress. 4 or 5 students throwing punches and grappling on the floor as one student tries to break it up. The video, obtained by KIRO 7 News, does not show the stabbing, nor is it clear if the brawlers were also involved in the stabbing. So what was this all about? Investigators aren't saying what they've learned so far, but Foss parent Diana Corbin shared this with KIRO Newsradio.
The kids that were coming out of the school who did see it, it was over a vape battery. And so there's going to be potential loss of life just for a vape battery. It seems so idiotic to me.
Fortunately, it seems no one will lose their life in this incident. All involved were reported in stable condition yesterday. But for the Foss community, the stabbing may revive painful memories of an on-campus shooting from nearly 20 years ago. In January 2007, 17-year-old student Sam Nang Kok was shot to death by another student in a Foss hallway. This time, the incident troubling for sure, but a far less tragic outcome.
Thanks for that update. It's 8:07.
May Day rallies are taking place across the state today, including at Seattle's Cal Anderson Park, where thousands will protest federal crackdowns on immigration starting at noon. Sylvia Gonzalez, community organizer with Casa Latina, says they want to deliver a clear message in the face of ICE deportations.
This is a very important moment for us, for the domestic worker. Go outside and say, here we are. And we are looking for more protection.
The protest will begin with a rally at the park, followed by a roughly 2-mile march.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
One of my favorite albums.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah. What should we call you, though?
Al.
Oh, okay.
No, we call you Betty.
Okay.
And then we call you Al.
And Betty, you can call me Al.
Okay, that's more appropriate,
yeah.
isn't it?
This Graceland. I think I'm listening to that soon. I got to listen to that soon. I'm Charlie Harger. That's Manda Factor. We are feeling the Friday right now.
Uh-huh.
We have a big hour in front of us, but we have a big weekend for the Mariners as well, where they retire the number 51 coming up tomorrow night.
The big guy is ready to come back with a 1-2 pitch, and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! He's done it! Randy Johnson has just struck out his 11th man. An amazing performance by the big unit.
Okay, so the Mariners play the Kansas City Royals over the weekend, and the big game is tomorrow for that retirement ceremony. Guess who we have joining us at 8:35?
I'm guessing Rick Riz has some memories of the big unit. We'll get to the Rick Riz show then.
We'll also have consumer man Herb Weisbaum with some advice if you're looking to do some landscaping work this spring. And we'll finish up the week with KIRO News Radio's Paul Holden with our weekend planner.
It's 8:09. Gas prices continue to set new records every day around the state, and no end in sight.
GasBuddy.com says the average price in Washington is very high. It's $5.59. AAA pegs it at $5.61. And Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy says the average price in the Seattle Metro, $5.79.
Americans are spending millions of dollars more on gasoline today in the next 24 hours. I estimate that the nation will be spending roughly $550 million more on gasoline than we did to begin the month of March. So these are costs that are really starting to add up. We're at $20 billion now over the last 60 days in terms of additional costs. So
prosecutors have charged a Seattle man in a violent attack on a 77-year-old man in downtown Seattle. Those prosecutors say 29-year-old Ahmed Osman is charged with felony assault for the attack near 3rd and Pike. It happened shortly before midnight, April 19th. Charging documents say the victim was knocked to the ground at random. He suffered a broken arm, a broken knee, and gash on his forehead.
When you break a bone as a young person, it hurts and it takes a long time to recover. When you're 77, even in great shape, it's a lot harder.
Casey McNerthney in the King County Prosecutor's Office says they're asking bail be set at $200,000. Police are still looking for a second suspect.
Police in Marysville have opened a homicide investigation after the body of a young woman was found in a waste bin. KIRO 7's El Thomas says it happened Wednesday near a Grove Street apartment complex.
We heard from the man who found that body. Bob Stocks tells us he got the shock of his life when he says he noticed a green yard waste bin on the sidewalk that didn't belong to his apartment complex.
That bin was pretty heavy, and so I opened it up to see what was in it, and lo and behold, there was a body. Stepped back, took a few deep breaths, tried to collect myself as much as I could, and called 911.
Detectives arrived on scene, spent several hours gathering evidence.
Marysville police want anyone with information to call 911.
Washington's measles outbreak is growing, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
The State Department of Health has 3 more confirmed cases, 2 in Kittitas County, 1 in Spokane County, and there's no known exposure source. Officials say that could mean measles is spreading undetected. The state has logged 40 cases so far this year. Last year, there were only 12. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Well, if your plans take you over the mountains this weekend, heads up for you because Highway 18 will close between I-90 and Issaquah-Hobart Road. It is closed now. Crews will wrap up paving the section of highway throughout the weekend. Lanes are set to reopen 5 a.m. Monday morning.
Sully has the rest of your traffic coming up at first at 8:12. A check on the weather. Beautiful. 71 for today. We're gradually going to warm up. 73 for tomorrow, and then all the way up to 81 for Sunday and Monday. Nothing but sunshine. Tuesday, partly cloudy, and we'll cool off to about 72. Right now in Seattle, sunshine and 54.
Okay, Sully, it started off pretty slow, but it got pretty intense on the roads. What's going on right now?
Well, we've kind of settled into a modified Friday light, which means coming down out of the north end, it's not great, but rest of the map is okay. You mentioned the closure of westbound 18 in your newscast there from the I-90 corridor through the Issaquah-Hobart Road through 4 a.m. Monday. What we do have is looks like we might have a crash or a stall in the eastbound direction, which is the only direction open, right at the top of Tiger Mountain. So keep that in mind. Coming up from the south end, it's actually, not bad at all. There are a couple of brake lights in South Tacoma, but overall 35 minutes to get you from Tacoma into Tacoma from Olympia is not bad. And then Federal Way to Seattle's running about 40 minutes. Heaviest brake lights there at the north end of Boeing Field, and then even a little gap past the West Seattle Bridge before you get the normal stuff. The Renton to Bellevue Drive, a little under 35, so not bad. The Valley Freeway's about 40. Most of Pierce County in general is quiet. 16 has been pretty good all morning. It continues to be so. Coming down from the north end, we have brake lights into and through Canyon Park, down through 522. Give yourself 45 minutes from Everett into Bellevue and about 42 from Everett into Seattle. So all in all, not bad. And by the way, we have cleared up all the close. Earlier, we hadn't talked about this a while. On MLK in Alaska, we had that crash involving a couple cars that ended up closing light rail service there through that corridor. That's all buttoned up, put back together. Everything is running normally on that corridor. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Well, the trees around your home may need more attention than they're getting. Disease, pests, and extreme weather can take a toll. Even healthy trees need regular pruning and the occasional checkup.
Now, to keep your trees in good shape or to remove ones that are dead or dangerous, you're probably going to need some professional help. Consumer man Herb Weisbaum has advice on how to hire a reliable tree service. He's a contributing editor at checkbook.org. Herb, this is very funny. I just started getting bids on this yesterday, so help me out here.
I'll let you do the segment. No, I'm just kidding.
What's the most important thing homeowners need to remember when they're having tree work done?
That all tree companies are not created equal, that some do a really good job and some do a lousy job. Just because the company calls itself a tree service does not mean they're able to come to your house and diagnose the problem and take care of it properly. The other major thing I want to remind you of is somebody just knocks on your door and says, hi, we're in the neighborhood and we saw a tree that's got a problem or whatever. That's not how you hire a tree service. Or if after one of our major Northwest storms, the trees are down, people go through. You have to hire the tree company by going through the proper steps to make sure you have someone that can really do the job properly.
Now, Checkbook does the price surveys for the services they rate. Big differences in the prices you find?
Huge differences. What we did is we priced a removal of a 35-foot oak tree, grind the stump, backfill the hole to grade, and haul away all the wood and debris for Puget Sound area tree companies. And the quotes range, Charlie, from $1,355 to $3,650 for the exact same job. Gives you some idea of the big price spread between company to company.
One positive thing when I was doing this yesterday is you just have to plug in your address and they'll say, hey, we'll drive by and take a look. You don't necessarily have to be there, do you?
Correct. You don't have to be there. I like to be there because, number one, I want to talk to them, see what they have in mind, and I want to sort of check on them. Do I feel comfortable about the people who showed up? Is the guy's car a mess who's doing the estimation and everything's all over the place? Maybe I want to see somebody else. But, check a couple of companies. That's key. Have a number of companies do the estimate. You may find different solutions, different prices, as of course we found out. But I like to talk to them. I like to see what they're saying. But you don't have to be there. That's correct.
This is funny because I'm doing this too right now. We have a couple of fir trees that have gotten a little too tall. They're kind of pushed against the house now, and the roots are kind of going towards the foundation. What do we have, Herb, for add-ons or the takeaways? Like, for instance, the price differential we were quoted was, well, if we just cut it and leave the lumber, you can keep the lumber yourself for what we cut because the tree's that thick, that's fine. But if we haul that lumber away, which I know they're going to sell, it costs another $400. I mean, is there a standard out there for those kinds of add-ons or takeaways that aren't just the removal of the tree itself, but then the removal of what's left?
Well, first of all, in the contract, you have to have them specify exactly what the job's going to be. We're going to do this. We're going to cut up the wood to fire size or take it away or do the stump or whatever it is. If it's not in the contract, don't assume the work's going to be done. The other answer to your question was it is so expensive now to haul away the wood because people aren't burning wood in fireplaces anymore like they used to. We had a gigantic tree outside of our house that had to come down, and the estimate was $10,500 to bring it down. It was huge, and it was right near power lines. So it was a really difficult job. $3,500 of that estimate was to haul away the wood. So, and we found through the group called the Homeowners Club, which Connie Thompson and I on Como used to talk about all the time, a wonderful organization. We found a company that hauled the wood away for $950.
Only.
So it was worth the $60 membership to the Homeowners Club. But yes, hauling away the wood can be very, very expensive.
So,
of course, you're a big-time broadcaster. So
yeah.
Update.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Certainly. Yeah.
How do we pay for this? Is this a sort of thing like a check? Should I be paying in Bitcoin?
I'll use your credit card, Charlie, but the serious answer is try to pay after the job is done. That way you have leverage over the contractor if they haven't done the job to your satisfaction. It's always a little bit risky if you pay before the job is completed, so try to pay afterwards if you possibly can. And before you do anything with a contractor, Manda and Sully, check to see that they're licensed with the state of Washington. Make sure they have a bond insurance. These people are going to be working in trees up high, maybe around power lines. You want to make sure they're covered if there's anything with their employee gets hurt, and also if they do any damage to your property. This is very, very important to check that they have this coverage.
Are there other specific details that should be in that contract?
Anything that you expect them to do, Manda, if whatever it is, I want the wood stacked up by my garage. If it's not in the contract, assume they're not going to do it. So whatever the job is, make sure you specify in that contract what it is.
Okay, so if you're not sure what needs to be done, what is the type of assessment you need to have happen?
You might want to get an arborist to come by your property, somebody that doesn't have a vested interest in cutting your tree down. That's what we did here. A couple of years ago, we had a big hemlock come down, and it landed right there behind me in my office here where I'm broadcasting from. Thank goodness I wasn't in the room at the time. So I had an arborist come out, and I said, check the rest of the trees on the property. Said the cedars are fine. Said you got 2 hemlocks. Let's check them. One hemlock was a problem. It had another hollow spot in the middle as the one that came down. He said 2 options. You can hire a company to take the bad one down so it doesn't fall down, or there are companies that will tie your tree up at the top, tie the 2 hemlocks together, and then tie that to the cedar tree over here, and it's a lot cheaper, and it'll hold the tree in place if there's a windstorm. We went with that. We saved a tree. It was going to be $3,500 to take the tree down. It was $1,500 to tie the trees together up high, you can't see it, to the cedar tree, so you can get some real independent consultation. Make sure that your arborist is with one of 2 associations certified by the American Society of Consulting Arborists or the International Society of Arboriculture. It means that they have a degree in arboriculture. They have several years of experience and have passed a difficult exam. Amanda, that's why I say I like to be on the property. If somebody comes, I want to talk to them about what they want to do and why. But these guys, the independent one, they're not trying to sell you work. They're trying to tell you what's wrong.
Herb, over 20 years ago, I had a rental house I was living in Federal Way. We had a maple fall on the house. And what I don't think a lot of people realize, you see these stories of trees on houses like, oh, man, the roof is pretty messed up. Right. What happens is these branches impale through the ceiling. We had this came down to within a foot of the floor. If somebody had been in that room at the time, they would have been impaled. So it is something you really have to take seriously, the tree's health around your home.
Yes, and when our tree came down, it was the rainy season, so the water was getting in. We had $50,000 worth of damage to fix this one little area in the house, replace the drywall, rebuild the dormer, get all the bad insulation out. We had a tree in my neighborhood here in Bellevue. It came down. It was a one-story house. It was a gigantic cedar tree. It literally split the house in half. It went all the way down to the ground, split the house in half. Yes, you have to take this seriously.
All right, Herb, where can we find out more?
Well, you can go to checkbook.org and read the full story we have on high rate tree service, and which I advise you and Sully to do. You can also check out tree services in the area, a free list of ratings, checkbook.org/NW News Radio/trees. It's good till June the 5th. We've rated 50 tree services around the area, checkbook.org/NW News Radio/trees. And we also just did a podcast all about hiring a tree service at consumerpedia.org. We got you covered. There's no excuse for not doing it right.
You always have us covered, Herb, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, guys. See you next week.
Consumer man Herb Weisbaum. A growing number of older Americans are having to continue in the workforce well past retirement age. This as President Trump signed an executive order yesterday that could put some meat on the bones of a retirement savings proposal he introduced at his State of the Union address in February. CBS News consumer tech and business reporter Maya Blackstone wrote about this for CBS Money Watch.
President Trump signed an executive order launching the TrumpIRA.gov. It's a new website where basically millions of Americans without a workplace retirement plan can open a low-cost IRA account starting next year. So it's basically meant to close this retirement coverage gap, and it's going to target more than 50 million workers who work at small businesses, part-time workers, contractors, self-employed people who currently have no easy way to save for retirement on the job.
That's Maya Blackstone reporting.
It's 8:23. That's time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes, and here's Chris Sullivan.
And we're doing okay out there. I mean, it's not fully Friday light for everybody. We do have some slowing on northbound 405, if you can believe it, north of Canyon Park, heading up to the Linwood Split. Looks like the State Patrol was working with somebody there off to the right shoulder now, so all the red has gone away. Going the other direction, we have a heavy brake light south of Canyon Park through 522. That's why we're a little over 40 minutes to make that drive from Everett down into Bellevue. About 40 minutes from Everett into Seattle. Northbound I-5, brake lights approaching the north end of Boeing Field, up past the West Seattle Bridge, but a 40-minute trip for you. Federal Way to Seattle's not bad. 40 minutes, also what we have from Puyallup to Renton, and under a half an hour from Renton to Bellevue. Lake bridges are quiet. That's great. Still have the closure of eastbound 18 from I-90 down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. That is for construction. Got another good weekend to do their construction work, so that we got a 4-day window. Expect that closure through 4 a.m. on Monday morning. In the eastbound direction, we looks like we are working with this crash or stall right at the top of the summit. So there's a little bit of braking there. It appears to be getting better, so I'm hoping that may have taken care of itself. Heading south out of Tacoma, looking pretty good all the way down through Olympia and really almost all the way down into Portland if you're thinking about getting away early on this beautiful Friday morning. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
With the forecast calls for a high in the low 70s for Seattle today, low to mid 70s tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, low 80s. Right now, it's 54 downtown.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Corwin Haig has the latest on that stabbing that happened at Foss High School in Tacoma.
Plus, we'll have the Rick Riz Show. Check in with the Mariners legend as the team prepares to take on a very special weekend at the ballpark. That's on the way here on Seattle's Morning News.
You know, calling a ball game is all about being in the moment, the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. That's why I love telling you about On Cruise Adventures. Hi, this is Rick Riz. On Cruise Adventures isn't your typical cruise. We're talking small ships, just 22 to 86 guests, so you're not lost in the crowd. And instead of sitting on deck watching the world go by, you're in it. Kayaking, hiking, exploring, right in the heart of the action. It's immersive, it's personal, it's adventure the way it should be. Check out Uncruise Adventures at uncruise.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Are you trying to get weight loss support through telehealth, but it feels overwhelming and rushed? Check out Orderly Meds now. OrderlyMeds.com was built to be different. Here you connect with real doctors who take the time to understand your goals, review your eligibility, and guide you through a plan that's right for you. Orderly Meds provides access to proven GLP-1 medications like semaglutide and tirzepatide, including both name brand options and personalized compounded versions when appropriate. So you have choices backed by clinical oversight, not guesswork. It's a simpler, more supportive telehealth experience designed around people who want clarity, care, and confidence in their weight loss journey. And your medication is delivered directly to your home in discreet packaging, so your experience stays private from start to finish. Do your research, ask the right questions, then visit orderlymeds.com/radio for an exclusive offer. Again, that's orderlymeds.com/radio. Individual results may vary, not medical advice. Eligibility required. See site for details.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
We're facing an uncertain time when support for nonprofits is in danger. Now is the time to show up for them. Whether you give a little or a lot, every donation creates big change. Donate to nonprofits during Give Big on May 5th at wagives.org. It's up to us.
877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 8:30. New details on the chaos at Tacoma's Foss High School coming up in just a moment.
But first, a nasty surprise for drivers on I-5 southbound this morning. They were forced to dodge 3 concrete manhole covers on the road. Trooper Daniel Southard said it happened around 5:30 this morning between 72nd Street and Highway 512 when a semi lost its load.
Troopers and DOT personnel were able to respond and remove those manhole covers from the roadway. But before that happened, approximately 18 vehicles struck those manhole covers and were damaged.
Says nobody was hurt. The driver was cited for a traffic infraction.
5 counts of first-degree assault, and police say those are the charges a Foss High School student faces after a stabbing incident sent 6 people to the hospital, including the suspect.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake joins us live with the update.
Foss High is closed today in the Tacoma School District, and after-school activities are canceled. Police say the suspect, a Foss student, was lightly wounded, while the other 4 students and a school security guard, suffered more serious wounds. Good news is all are now reportedly in stable condition. Shelby Boyd with Tacoma PD tells KIRO 7 News officers responded to the scene quickly.
We were able to get the scene contained and get the other students out to their families. It's unfortunate. This shouldn't be happening in our schools.
Student Brogan Avey agrees this is not a good look.
Foss is a great school, and I just don't want this to represent us.
Cell phone video taken inside the school shows this stabbing was preceded by a brawl in the school hallway. At least 4 students are seen throwing punches and trading body blows. It's unknown if this fight is related to the stabbing. Now, school will reopen on Monday morning, this according to Foss's website, and counselors will be on site to support staff and students. Charlie Manda.
Just a frightening incident, having been on the scene of so many of these over the years. Just the terror you see in the students' eyes, the parents coming up to the scene had to be just awful.
I'm
yesterday.
with you. I've covered a few myself, and we're fortunate that it wasn't worse than it might have been.
Absolutely. Corwin Hake reporting live.
Thousands of people are expected to join a May Day rally in March starting at noon today on Capitol Hill. Sylvia Gonzalez, community organizer with Casa Latina, says they want to take a stand against federal immigration crackdowns.
This is the moment we need to go outside and say something. We are here. The immigrants are here.
The rally begins at Cal Anderson Park, followed by a 2-mile march. Organizers are not discussing the march route because of safety concerns. Additional rallies are planned across the state.
8:33 now. Friday morning traffic on the 3s with Chris Sullivan.
And it's not exactly Friday light coming down out of the north end. We're actually closer to 50 minutes now from Everett into Bellevue with all of the braking there from about 527 in Canyon Park through 522. And then a little meandering under the speed limit as you approach 520 out of Kirkland. For I-5, it's a little bit faster, about 45 minutes to go from Everett to Seattle. So the brake lights there don't begin just inside of 145th and then go down through that Ship Canal construction zone. Looking at northbound I-5, not bad, 42 minutes to make the trip. It's really clean all the way up to about the north end of Boeing Field, right before the Michigan curve. So that's a positive. Northbound 405, a half an hour from Renton to Bellevue. We have brake lights through the S-curves and a nice long gap, and then a little bit into South Bellevue, but really nothing to write home about. Valley Freeway is under 40 minutes. We have a 35-minute trip from Olympia to Tacoma. Still seeing the closure of eastbound 18 from I-90 to the Issaquah Hobart Road. That's going to be with us all weekend long for construction. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Our forecast, and that's a positive. 71 the high for today with a mix of sun and clouds. Mostly sunny for tomorrow and 73. And then we're going to crank up the heat for a couple of days, Sunday and Monday. We're looking for sunshine and highs around 81 both days. Partly sunny on Tuesday and a high of 72. Those overnight lows will be in the low to mid 50s. Right now in Seattle, we have sunshine. It's 54.
bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
Well, it's 8:35 on a Friday morning. Thanks for joining us today here on Seattle's Morning News. Legion Sports Bar in Bellevue has closed its doors. The bar, created by former Seahawks Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman, they opened in Lincoln Square in 2023. Well, in an Instagram post, the bar announced it was shutting down to focus on its efforts at Lumen Field, where it has concessions at the club level.
Every week throughout the baseball season, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey heads to the ballpark to catch up with some of the best fans in the world rooting on our Seattle Mariners, and here is Luke.
On a slow, sun-soaked Sunday afternoon, when the ballpark settles into those early innings, families enjoying the Rays, couples sharing a cold drink, and every other fan seems to be enjoying those Washington State Fairies. They are a pretty big hit. Follow the first baseline, though, meandering along the concourse. Beyond the oversized batting helmet nachos.
They're good. I've only tried a bite, but they're really good.
On the other side of the sumo dogs. And that's where you'll find Daniel and his son Julio.
Who's your favorite player?
Yes, he shares the same name as his favorite player.
First Mariners game, they were chanting Julio, and he thought, he was super confused because he's like, why are they saying my name?
Daniel and Julio love the Mariners.
I grew up in Mill Creek, so I used to come here a bunch when I was growing up. But, it's all about him.
Go Mariners!
And Julio's just as happy on the Mariners playground, while Dad waits patiently on a bench nearby next to his son's Little League hat and glove, missing a few innings here and there on this day.
With a swing and a drive, deep to left field, going and going, goodbye baseball, Rob Ref Snyder.
But for Daniel, what matters most is simply being here together.
It's fun. He likes baseball. He's starting to understand what first base is and second base, and so I think mainly he just wants to run around and be outside.
All right, Daniel, it's time for the speed round. What is your favorite Mariner moment?
Well, it's recent. Last year I was at the Grand Slam walk-off in the playoffs. So.
Get out the rye bread and mustard, Grandma. It is grand salami time.
Who is your favorite Mariner?
Of all time? Ichiro. He just had swag. He was fast. I've never seen someone swing and run at the same time.
What's your go-to food at the ballpark?
I usually get sushi, over by home plate. Yeah. Are you going to get ribbed for that? Some people would say you got to stick with a hot dog. Glizzies are overrated.
What's your favorite team to hate?
The Houston Astros. Yeah. Everyone says the Astros. Yeah. What is it about the Astros? They just used to beat us up so badly, like a little bully. And then now we're the bullies.
Finally, what is your favorite Mariner uniform?
Teal, for sure.
Love the answers, and by the time we wrapped it all up, Daniel missed another Mariners home run.
JP swinging a drive deep to right field. Nimmo going back, looking up. Goodbye baseball. JP Crawford.
And once again, Daniel didn't seem to mind because there will always be more highlights to catch later.
There's a lot of pitches in the season.
And moments like these, they're what it truly means to be not just fan of the week, but dad of the week.
That was adorable.
Yeah, the thing is, Luke does these on video as well. So if you're watching the YouTube live feed, you're able to see that report. And, of course, we'll have it. You can watch it on mynorthwest.com.
It's going to be a fun weekend at the ballpark, too.
Are you kidding me?
The weather, spectacular.
Beautiful.
Retiring the big units number. So cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. All right. Well, coming up, Sully, you have traffic?
And we're taking a look at the slowing we have on 405 and I-5 getting down out of Linwood. We'll break it down next.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the big unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical, there's no beating CM Heating.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, it's been an incredible week of wildlife on the Salish Sea. Numerous families of Biggs orcas are in the area hunting seals and sea lions, and migrating gray whales are feeding on ghost shrimp. Last week marked the first sightings of the year of migrating adult humpback whales and the elusive tufted puffin. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Starting May 1st, Puget Sound Express is launching a new all-day tour departing from Edmonds that includes a 2-hour stop on San Juan Island. Orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
8:43 now. Chris Sullivan has traffic on the threes.
Yeah, we've got some pockets of pretty intense slowing, but you get into them a little earlier than you expect, and you get out of them just as fast. But travel coming down from the north end is probably the worst. We're looking at about a 45-minute trip from Everett into Bellevue, about 45 now as well from Everett to Seattle. The brake lights there are right where they're supposed to be. Northbound I-5, you're not going to hit the brakes from Olympia until you're all the way up to basically the north end of Boeing Field. So it's a really good drive. Only 30 minutes to Tacoma, and then 35 to 40 to get you up into Seattle out of Federal Way. Valley Freeway under 40. The S-curves are a little active on northbound 405, a little bit at I-90 in Bellevue, but overall under 30 minutes from Renton to Bellevue is a really good number. We continue to work with this crash. Eastbound Highway 18 over the top of Tiger Mountain. We have a little bit of slowing left over. It looks like they've kind of taken care of it. And a reminder, westbound 18 remains closed over the weekend for construction. You cannot go west of I-90 all the way over Tiger Mountain down to the Issaquah-Hobart Road. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Forecast absolutely gorgeous weather for the weekend. Perfect weekend to be out at the ballpark. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds today, 71, 73 in the sunshine for tomorrow. Sunday and Monday still looks like we'll see it hit somewhere around 81. And then Tuesday, if that's too hot for you, we'll cool off to about 72. Still partly sunny, though. Right now, it's 54 in Seattle.
Well, speaking of the ballpark, coming up a special edition of the Rick Riz Show. The voice of the Mariners will send us into the weekend. That's up next here on Seattle's Morning News.
It started as a podcast
puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise, there's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We are underway.
There's only one, Rick Riz.
The Grippies with back-to-back home runs. Number 258, a Major League record for Ichiro.
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show on Seattle's Morning News.
We look forward to it every week. Legendary Mariners broadcaster Rick Riz joins us to break down the latest with the team. Rick, so nice to have you with us this morning. It's like a brand new season. The team's at 500.
How about that, Amanda and Charlie? Yeah, it's outstanding. They had a great road trip to get back to 500 at 16-16 after the slow start. And you knew the big guys were going to start hitting. When they hit, they're going to win because the pitching is so good. And so now the boys are back in town. A day off yesterday. Beautiful night out for baseball coming up tonight against the Kansas City Royals. So they got some momentum going in this series, and I think you're going to see this ball club really take off and move way beyond that 500 mark.
Rick, you watch the team day in and day out. Cal Julio, Josh Naylor, they are getting hot, like you said. Is there anything specific behind that?
You know, it's just getting their timing back. I think, like I said earlier when we chatted, you know, over the last few weeks, I think the World Baseball Classic took some at-bats away from them. And, you know, at spring training, you're going to have a ton of swings in the batting cage, working with Edgar and Kevin and Bobby Magallanes. So it's just getting their timing back, the weather heating up a little bit more, and they're feeling good about themselves. And so it's all about timing when you're talking about hitting. And you knew that they were going to come back in a hurry, and they have. So I think that was it. They just needed some good at-bats under their wings, and now they're going to fly.
Rick, the one guy who has seemed to have been hot from the start is Cole Young. It seems like every single time he is in a position where he needs to bring in a runner in scoring position, he does it. He comes through. He hits all over the field, kind of gets wherever he can. Not to mention at second base, he is locked down there defensively. What are you seeing from this kid? How has he kind of elevated his game, and how important is that to the team?
Oh, it's huge for the team. It's great for him, and then that makes it great for the team. But he had a tremendous road trip. He had 500 on the trip with a home run and 8 runs batted in. And just watching this kid, just to answer your question, you know, he never lets the moment get too big for him. He just does what he's capable of doing. He knows who he is. He's not going to hit, 20, 30 home runs during the course of the year. He's going to get you big base hits, and he slows the game down to the least common denominator, which is put the bat on the ball, put the ball in play up the middle, the other way. When you take a look at him in those situations that you talk about, he drove in 2 big runs there in a 3-run top of the 9th inning a few days ago against Minnesota. It's like, I got this. I see what he's trying to do with me. I'm going to look for a pitch up and just put the bat on the ball. And if it's a pitch away, I'm going to hit it the other way. So he never lets the moment get too big for him. He does what he's capable of doing, and that's, barrel up a ball and even get a soft single when you need to on a tough pitch and driving a big run at a crucial situation. So he's been great at the bottom part of the order and coming through situations like that because he slows the game down.
And it kind of started that way with his debut last season, right? With that fielder's choice that brought in the game-winning run there. That's a huge spot for him to be in his first MLB game. And from there on, he has just been cool as a cucumber.
No, it's been fun watching him play. A first-round pick out of high school to watch this kid, come through the organization the way he has, and they have the kind of season he's having right now. And he's just going to get better and better and better. So the Mariners are going to be set at that second base spot for a long, long time. The guy's a ball player. He knows how to play the game and play defense. His defense has been outstanding. He's one of the best defensive players in the American League there at second base.
All right, Rick, it is going to be a huge weekend at the ballpark because the Mariners are honoring the big unit, Randy Johnson, retiring his number 51 tomorrow. What comes to mind when you think of Randy Johnson?
Oh, one of the most intimidating, dominating, fiercest competitors I've ever seen on the mound and one of the greatest pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball. Here's a guy that when we got him from the Montreal Expos in 1989 from Mark Langston, he couldn't throw a strike. And Brian Holman was the more polished pitcher, but unfortunately later on he hurt his shoulder, but Brian Holman was outstanding. He almost had a perfect game in April of 1990. And Gene Harris was the reliever. But looking at Randy Johnson, once he figured out how to throw that fastball for a strike, then when he came up with that slider, which we named Mr. Snappy, he became a Hall of Fame pitcher. When Randy took the ball, he wanted to go 9 innings, and he wanted to strike you out, and he did that. He did that as well as anybody in the history of the game, second most strikeouts in the history of the game of baseball. But when you knew Randy was on the mound, it was a win day because he was going to have everything he had in the tank, and you were going to win that day. And the one-game playoff, he started against the Angels, went all the way, beat the Angels 9-1 to get the Mariners to the playoffs for the very first time in our history. But looking at Randy Johnson, the determination, that mullet flying out from behind his cap, that snarl, that stare that he had on hitters scared the daylights out of him. He would buzz the tower on hitters, and nobody had a very comfortable at-bat against Randy Johnson. But when he's on the mound, you knew you had a really good chance to win that ball game, and you usually did.
Hey, Rick, we just have a moment here, but we've been listening to Dave Niehouse's calls of Randy's strikeouts this morning.
Yeah.
What are some of your memories of the way Dave would talk about Randy?
Oh, it's the same thing. We just knew that we were taking a look at greatness once he figured out how to throw strikes. Dave and I would watch this guy go out and prepare every day, the way he just strutted out to the mound. He had this swagger. He had this confidence. He knew that day he was the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. And he proved that he was. I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame. We're going to retire his number tomorrow night, number 51. And we're going to honor one of the greatest players in Mariner history and one of the greatest pitchers in the game of baseball. And Dave and I knew that every time. It was just fun watching him pitch because it was a rough night for the opposition.
Rick, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time this morning. We'll look forward to hearing you on the radio. Have fun at the ballpark and make some awesome memories this weekend.
All right, man. And what a great report by Luke, talking with that fan at the ballpark and everything. I really enjoyed that with his young son and
Julio.
everything. That was awesome. So see you at the ballpark tomorrow night. We're going to have fun against Kansas City.
All right.
Tonight against Kansas City.
Yeah, and if you're at the ballpark, wave up to Dave, up to Rick. It's right by the sign that says Dave.
Yes.
And we will look forward to that. Love talking to Rick Riz. All right, 8:54. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
And we are
still burning toast.
Boy, did you Wow, are you okay? I'm just making sure. I mean, it's usually me that kind of craps out, and I get the little
short circuit
circular bar in my forehead, like buffering. Dude.
I think I did this last week, too. Like Friday.
It's Friday.
I'm done.
Get the heck out of here,
You're
man.
running out of time
Get
for
the
traffic.
heck out of here. We're looking at 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle, or Everett to Bellevue, with 35 of those minutes away from Linwood. Brake lights right where they should be. Federal Way to Seattle, about 35 to 40 past the West Seattle Bridge is our only little hiccup. Puyallup to Renton, no problems for you guys. Renton to Bellevue is under 30. And a reminder that westbound 18 remains closed from I-90 through the Issaquah-Hobart Road. That's for weekend construction. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
71 for today, 73 tomorrow. We'll be up around 80 for Sunday and Monday. I can't stop laughing. It's 54 right now.
Stand by. The G and Ursula Show is coming up next, right here on KIRO Newsradio.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss and a joke. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
It's the Big Unit's big weekend when the Mariners retire Randy Johnson's number 51 at T-Mobile Park. Congratulations, Randy, from a grateful city and the station that broadcasts every Mariners game you ever pitched. KIRO News Radio.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
A lot of businesses are gearing up for a busy summer, and that means choosing a bank with the accounts, tools, and services you need to be successful. The right bank can make a big difference, right, Brad?
It sure can, Dave. And WaFd Bank can help with business checking, loans, credit cards, and so much more. WaFd Bank is also an SBA preferred lender of choice, so you can grow with confidence.
Yeah, but what about when you need help with something? Is there a real person who's available and who knows how to help?
Absolutely. Our friendly and knowledgeable local bankers are ready and waiting to help you with whatever your business might need. From day one, our bankers get to know you and your business to build a strong foundation for future success. This especially helps when it's time to apply for loans and to spot gaps in your business operations, so we can recommend the services that would be most helpful.
Which is exactly why we say WaFd has you covered. To learn more, visit wafdbank.com or stop by your local branch. Discover why they were awarded Best Bank 3 years in a row. WaFd Bank, built for business. Member FDIC, loans subject to credit approval.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays, noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio, on 97.3 FM, and the KIRO News Radio app.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock